going live.
I'm over here playing with you. You don't even give me good lighting. I need better light.
Am I not paying you well?
Nope. It's Friday night. I need.
Hey, everybody.
I need a glow.
You need a glow?
I'm writing a letter.
Who are you going to write to?
I don't know. No one's out there. To the CEO.
You can write to my boss.
Yeah. Oh,
My
wait,
boss
that's
sucks.
me.
Oh, that's true. You suck. How are you guys doing today?
Hi,
Welcome
everybody.
back to the channel. It is Friday night, hanging out with my beautiful wife. You guys asked me to see if I can get...
This thing's always in my way.
Oh my
I was
God.
trying to say hi,
Oh,
but this
okay.
thing's
All
always
right.
in my way.
You asked me to bring her back, and she's back.
Back again.
Yeah, it's
She
Friday
is
night,
back.
so I hope you guys are joining us with like a cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, something. Maybe something harder. Is that apple juice?
This is apple juice.
It's not.
Cheers.
Sheree told me that her lighting was not too good. We're a little bit bright, too much shine, too much this and that. Hey guys, listen, let me know how the audio sounds. Make sure that we're not echoing last time when we did this.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
I mean, it looks good. Last time we were echoing because I had multiple mics on because we have a lot of mics in the studio. I forgot to shut like 2 of them off. Anyways, let us know if there's any problems. So tonight we're just be hanging out and taking questions. The one thing I want to start out with is number 1, if you have a question, put a Q next.
Oh my God. What was that?
Put a Q next to the question.
That was not it.
See, that would normally be edited out. It's not edited.
You can't
So
edit.
put a Q next to the question. This way we kind of hone in on it. And if you're just talking amongst each other, that's fine because we're going to read it anyways. She's really good at keeping up with this stuff. I am not. I have that ADD shit. She doesn't, which is really good. So anyway, she's going to keep up with this for me and we'll be able to see what's going on. Any kind of questions, once again, put that Q before the question. I'm going to say this a lot during this live stream because it's really helpful. So
Hi, everybody. I see everybody's coming on. So
yes, there's a lot of people coming on. We have
Hey.
William. How are you doing? Will of
And
Texas.
We missed you guys last Friday. We had to go out of town. So, yeah.
Yes.
That's why.
Yes. How are you doing, William? We have Peter on here. Clinton. How's it going? How's it going? We have Ralph. How's everyone going tonight? It is, I can't believe it, TGIF. It's
Yes.
Friday.
Yes.
A whole week has gone by.
I know. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. So we were out and about for a week and now we're back. And it's back to the grind. But this is kind of the stuff that we absolutely love. So this should be pretty good. Once again, if you have any questions, put that Q before the question. We're going to get to all of them. Yes. Most likely, we'll probably stay online for an hour, maybe 2. The last time I said an hour and a half, it ended up being like 2 hours and 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's Friday.
It's Friday. We're just hanging out.
Any questions, tech related, not tech related, whatever.
Exactly. It
It's
doesn't
Friday
matter.
night.
It's Friday night. So the videos I did just recently was, number 1, I did one about photographers no longer needing cameras. That was a very interesting piece where a lot of folks are starting to use like this AI generated imaging. So that is like one of those things that for me, I really wasn't involved with until I did this piece. And when I did the piece, I jumped into a bunch of these AI generators and it was kind of fun. Of course, you know, I absolutely love Harlequin. So I used her as like a guideline, let's say, and I had 2 of these packages create Harlequin in different means, I guess, different backgrounds, different this. One was like a graphic, highly graphic painterly form, and it looked really, really good. And then one was literally, it was real. It looked real, but it was completely 100% generated. There was one error, like one of her eyes was bigger than the other, which, you know.
I can have that happen sometimes.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes. Let me see this. Let me see.
No, stop.
Oh,
Here's
okay.
a question.
Oh, all right.
Hey,
all
Peter
right.
has a question. Have you thought about the video about your network update?
The network update. Video about the network update. Which network? Which are we talking about? Like router updates? I am working on something, and this will be like, I mean, you guys are here kind of behind the scenes. I've been working on something for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it will end up going live the beginning of next month, and it's pretty cool. And it's going to be very directed to people that have Starlink and people that don't have Starlink but have multiple services and want to bond services together. Either failover or like what we call bonded pair.
I'm saying hi.
Okay. Bonded pairs or anything like that. But we're going to be doing it a little bit different. And I'm really excited about this. So hang in there for that. But any other network question, let me know what that network is, if that's what you're talking about. And I'll get into that. Let me bring up, the other couple of videos that I did in the last, in the last 6 days, 7 days that we can talk about. I did another one that was SpaceX Starlink's internet alternative. And I talked about OneWeb as well as Amazon Project Keeper or Kuiper. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Kuiper. I think it's Kuiper. Anyways, Project Kuiper from Amazon. And I talked to you guys about that. And supposedly Amazon is looking at 3,236 satellites to put up there in orbit. And they already showed an 11-inch model, a 7-inch model, and a 19-inch model that is just like SpaceX Starlink's Dishy, or for me, I call him Mr. Bevel. But what's interesting here is there's no satellites in orbit yet. I mean, they have like all of this prototyping and all this stuff, and they're making all these claims, but there's nothing up there yet. So, or nothing functional as of yet, but I don't know. So that was an interesting piece, and a lot of you guys enjoyed that one. Also, I did one about satellite service over the phone, and how now that we have Elon's SpaceX Starlink now in cahoots or in bed with T-Mobile, this T-Mobile is now going to be, I think that if you have T-Mobile, I don't know if you're going to need another plan, or if you can use the plan that you have, and in an emergency situation, or maybe not even an emergency situation, you'll be able to use SpaceX Starlink on your T-Mobile phone. So that was very, very interesting. And it was, I think it was CNBC, as well as, I think it's RS Technica, I think it is the other one that I did that report, and I picked up a lot of great information from them. And today I did one about the SpaceX Starlink's version 2 minis. They're going to be destroyed, according to Elon. And that's just how it's going to be, because for some reason, something is going on with these 21 new version 2 minis that are up there. And that kind of sucks. That is a definite issue. So I don't know what's going to end up happening with that. Let me bring up a picture so you guys can see this. Let me see. Let me switch over to my screen so that you guys can see this.
Sorry, I look like a string bean right now. I'm trying to
do your
fix
thing.
my phone.
Do your thing. So this is what it looks like. And I guess this HEO Robotics captured this. Now, this is one of the Starlink version 2 minis in outer space. But what they found is it was kind of acting erratically. So instead of it moving up, it wasn't moving up, and it is now coming down lower and lower, and it's not in the proper orbit, let's say, that they would normally see. So when I saw that, I'm like, that does not look good. And sure damn enough, Elon tweets out and says, hey, things are not looking well. And, we're going to have to it's just not good. And something's going to happen, and we're going to end up having to deorbit some of these, and some of these are going to be destroyed. Matter of fact, let me see what he ended up saying here. Let me find this here. Here it is. Let me bring this up. I'll bring this up onto the screen so you guys can see it also. Here we go.
Somebody's making teriyaki bowls. It sounds
teriyaki
amazing
bowls
for Friday night.
Wow, that sounds good. Here you go. Now, this is right from Elon. He says lots of new technology in Starlink version 2. So we're expecting some issues. As expected, some sats will be deorbited. Others will be tested thoroughly before rising the altitude above the space station. So, this is kind of what ends up happening. You have things that are it's brand new technology, and this is the first 21 that got up there, and they're not doing well. And I'm going to guess that probably half of them will end up deorbiting and exploding. And if it happens at night, we'll see like a firework display wherever that happens.
That's fun.
That's fun times.
That's exciting.
I don't even know. Anyways, let's get into some of these questions before I go on and on, because I'll start droning on. You know that. How are you doing, Derek? Who else do we have here flying? Pretzel, of course.
Yeah,
flying
I
Pretzel.
think, isn't he is making teriyaki bowls?
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Probably have to send a pic of that.
Peter
teriyaki.
asked your home network and NOS network. Is that what you were just talking about?
Oh, yeah. Where's that now?
Right here.
Your home network and NAS network. Yeah. So right now, the NAS still is the Unraid array that I created, that I wrote the book on over here, how to create a digital Fort Knox, backing up your digital life. Yeah. So that's the NAS system that, I created, and that's the book that kind of, goes with it. I just took everyone on that journey with me as I wrote that book. I built the NAS out of parts that were like 10-year-old parts out of the garage, and there it is. I'm going to do a video on that because I'm starting to run out of storage, and I'm going to show you guys how I just install like another 8 terabytes into it very simply with that Unraid server. As far as the home network, we're still using a TP-Link type of network, indoor as well as outdoor, and it's working out really well. No complaints. I used that because, number one, it was really cheap, and I wanted to show you guys that we can do it on a budget. A lot of times people are like, oh, you use products that are very expensive. Like right now, I have I think it's a PepLink 20X or something like that, which is like $400, $500, $600. They're expensive. And then at the time you really build them out, it could be over, over $1,000. So I try going, a little bit more low cost so I can show you guys that you can do this networking, you can do mesh networks, and you can do it on a budget. So that's kind of that. Once again, if you're on here and you weren't here at the beginning, put a Q before any questions that you have in the chat. Put a Q. Let's see. Where do we leave off? I'll give you the...
Okay.
Gary. Good evening, Gary. It's from Spring Hill, Tennessee. Love the channel. Thank you so much, Gary. Appreciate that.
I just saw one. It went by me.
FXLRS Arizona, I guess. AZ says, poor minis, they are dead. Some of them, they will be dead. But there's good news with that whole mini thing is that even though there's 21 up there, and chances are, I would say a good half of them are going to deorbit and explode on the way in back into our atmosphere. What's really interesting is Elon already said that they're going to be launching another batch of minis before the end of the month. Well, the end of the month is in what, 6 days? Mm-hmm. Something like that, 7 days, right? What are we on, the
24th? So
yeah, let's say a week.
Yeah.
So within the next week, they're looking at launching another batch. So if it was a mechanical error, like a thruster is bad or something like that, I don't think that they can kind of shuck and jive and make those corrections that quick.
I don't know.
I mean, I suppose they could, but I think it's probably more of a software issue. Maybe they just got something off. Something's not right. Because some of these, so if you guys don't know, when they launch these things into orbit, they launch them to about 400 kilometers out of the atmosphere or from the ground, 400 kilometers. But their operational altitude is around 555, 545 kilometers. So they're not getting there because they're coming down instead of going up. So I don't know what's going on with that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But they're going to be launching new ones.
Yeah.
Like within a week. So
well, hopefully
right.
they've
What do we
figured
got
it
here?
out. Derek said, I want to cancel my Dish network since they got hacked, but their sites still are not all the way up.
Yeah. Dish Network. So I had Dish Network, or we had Dish Network for
many moons.
15 years?
No, like
20?
Yeah, probably like.
So we
20
had Dish
years.
Network for, let's call it 2 decades. Let's call it 20 years.
Yeah, we didn't have a choice. We didn't have anything else out here.
Right. And the service was really good at the beginning. And what happened with Dish Network was their price just constantly stair-stepped up.
But their service kept
going
down, kept offering less and less.
Right.
And the it was always going out. Yeah. It's just.
And, since these are geosynchronous satellites, right, which DirecTV or Dish Network uses, or Viasat or HughesNet, or all those, they're at thousands of kilometers, right, in outer space. So it's a very slow connection, number one. You have to pinpoint onto them. They're not moving, right? They're geocentric. They stay like where they stay. That's where they are, right around that area all the time. But the thing is, they're very susceptible to rain fade, just like what we see here with our dish. Even with Starlink. Starlink is susceptible to rain fade, but these are really susceptible to rain fade. So we were like out, like if they, all of a sudden it just started, peeing outside just a little bit of cloud cover, and now we're kind of breaking up. Everyone's pixelating, turning into Minecraft characters and stuff. So we did have Dish Network, and as soon as we got Starlink, maybe about a month, I would say like a month later, because I was fearful, because remember we were in beta, right, with Starlink. I'm like, are these people going to stay around? Or, I don't want to shut down anything, because God forbid, we're out, you end up with nothing. So
we'd have no communicado.
Yeah, we'd have nothing. So we ended up keeping Dish
for a while,
for a good month or two, and then just cut it.
Yeah.
And that was it. I actually reached out to them like, hey, can you give us a discount? They're like, no, we can't. I'm like, okay, cool, shut it down. and they're like, oh, wait.
No one cares about anything anymore.
No, so they're like, oh, let's put you into our loyalty department, or whatever the hell they call it, some crap. Let's put you into our okay, let's go ahead and do that. So I talk to the people, they go on, and they look at the account, and the account is 20 years old, right? And we're at the lowest that we can be. They're like, yeah, we can't go any lower. We can give you like HBO for 3 months for free or something. I'm like, I don't want HBO for free for 3 months. Look, what is that? So long story short, the loyalty department couldn't keep us either. I said, shut it down. What do you want? We'll send it to you. They sent out boxes with all of our, DVRs or whatever you want to call them. We put them all together, shipped them off, and that was the end of it. So after 20 years, no more Dish Network. And we've only been using Starlink for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
With no TV problems.
No.
Very rare. I mean, if it's a pouring torrential rain, yes, maybe.
Yeah, but not even like Dish Network.
Not even like Dish Network,
yeah.
Yeah, Dish was just crap.
I have an Instagram question.
Yes, go ahead.
John on Instagram, is it possible to move the dish base to point at a higher north instead pointing to the horizon? Because in my case, I have a huge mountain covering the horizontal north.
All right, so the problem is, John, is that they point the dish to where the majority of the satellites are going to be according to your exact geographic location, right? So they know pinpoint within 3 feet where that dish is. And then they point the dish accordingly. So can you do that and still get service? You can. I've seen people that disconnect the motors and then they just hard mount them in a location that this way they don't have to, let's say there's a lot of trees. The problem with that is as things change, the unit will not be able to make the changes any longer, which is a problem. A perfect example is when we first started with Starlink, our dish was pointing due north. I mean, literally like due north at about a 15 or 17% incline. And within like the last month or two, I did a video on it. I went outside and I looked, and the damn dish is like pointing cockeyed over the ocean. And I'm like, what the hell is that? I thought it was broken. And I came in, I took a look at it, and I'm like, God, the thing's running. How are my speeds? My speeds are fine. Well, what they did was anyone that was on the coastline, they made the dish point over the ocean. Why is that? Well, no one's using any of the data over the ocean, right? I mean, besides planes and maybe some boats, and there's very few of them. So anyone on the coastline, the dish is now pointing over the ocean. I speculated this. I put this out to everyone. I said, I think this is what it is. Literally within half an hour, I was getting DMs and DMs and DMs from people on the other coast, on the West Coast. And now their dish, instead of pointing due north, it's pointing west. Once again, where? Over the ocean. So this is what they're doing. So John, can you do it? You probably can. Should you? Probably not. I would say if you can put it on the top of a mast, like a big pole, and kind of get over like a tree line, get over whatever you can get over, do that. You have mountains dead on, it's a problem, obviously. And at that point, you're kind of stuck. But I would I would say try to leave it alone if you could. Anyways, where's the next one? What do we have here? That was Instagram?
Yeah,
All right,
that
let's go back to
was
YouTube.
Instagram.
Let's see. We see, let's see. Ernie's here. Boo, sob. Cancel my Starlink service. I hope you enjoy the free. Yes. So I don't know, Arnie, but I think you got fiber, if I remember correctly, Arnie. Gary says, good evening from, let me see, Spring Hill, Tennessee. Love the channel. Thank you so much. What else do we have here? What the? We got 5G plus? What is
guess.
that? Just now?
I don't know.
I've never seen that before.
But you're the expert. I don't get it, though.
All right.
Why isn't it not?
Yeah, there should be. Oh, because you're here, you need to be connected to inside here, which would be this one. It's going to stop and then put in put in my number. All right. So
that would have helped.
Yeah, 5G plus. I haven't even seen that.
I'm special.
On the phone, it just said 5G plus. AT&T. AT&T has always said 5GE, which basically E means we don't know what the hell we're doing. It's not 5G.
I'm special K.
Yeah, you got 5G plus.
I don't know.
What the hell is that? That's something new. Anyways.
Whenever it feels like it.
Yeah, whenever it feels like. Let's see. ARC, hey there. This is from New Mexico. How are you doing? Derek, want to cancel my Dish Network. We just went over that. Christopher Lee, thanks for doing the Hangout. Thank you, Christopher, for being here. Truly appreciate it. Let's see. Who else do we have in here? We have Gail from Washington State. Hey, guys, listen. If you guys are on Starlink, or even if you're not, let me know what are the speeds you're currently getting. What's your down speed? What's your up speed? Just today, I did a test. Look at this. I was baffled when I saw this. I'm like, I can't believe this. This is awesome. Look at this, guys. There you go. 249.97. Let's call it 250 down and almost 15 megabits up. Amazing, amazing. I haven't seen those numbers in quite some time. Can't complain about that. That's for sure. So let's get back into some of these questions. The home network.
Darrell talked about his RV trip and the reception near Nashville.
Nashville, let's see. Best speed, STL. Starlink was 131 down and 17 up. And Tulsa was 194 by 17 up. That's not bad, really. Speeds consistently. I have a feeling speeds are getting better. Even though the version 2s are not really in operation as of yet, I just feel like the speeds seem to be getting a little bit better, number one. And I'm seeing less of a drop in speed during times of congestion, which isn't bad.
No,
I don't know why, but...
Well, they're changing so many things, though.
I'm sure there's a lot going on. I mean, this is definitely a moving target, for sure, a moving target. What else? Remember, if you guys are here, you haven't been here at the beginning, put a Q before your question. This way we can kind of hone in straight to it.
Derek wants to know.
Yeah.
I like both of your pendants. Do they serve any purpose, like Q-Link pendants?
Oh, it's not like a Q. Well, Q-Link pendants would have like the copper inside and all that. No, this one right here is like Futhark runes. That's what these are, is the runes.
I'm all about the moon.
The moon, all about the moon.
It's actually artist clay. It's a moon. It was actually made.
Someone made it by hand.
It was in North Carolina, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
That's where you found that, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's see here. What do we got? What else in here? Says Kamikaze Ozzy. Oh, he's writing over here to the right. Says we are spending $150 a month for cable TV. We rarely watched almost all important stuff. Yeah, but exactly. Has been available on the internet for a long time. That's usually how it seems to always be, right? We pay for cable. We pay for all of this stuff, and we don't
forever.
We don't use it.
No,
See,
not really. You end up with so many things. That happens now with apps too. You end up with this app and that app, and then how many times you often use it. But it translates to all this other stuff. Do you really get your money's worth?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Everything today is data.
Right.
And what's happening is even with like Dish Network, DirecTV and them, they are getting into the data side of things. They are working with satellite companies, doing that whole LEO type of stuff. They're working on that. Why? Because their service is dead. They don't even know it. They're already antiquated. They're already out of business and they don't even know it, right? So same thing with Dish Network, DirecTV, HughesNet, Viasat. I mean, we can make the whole long list. All of these type of companies will be going out of business once Starlink is at 100%. And the reason being is everything is data today. So instead of getting a plan for $150, let's say from Dish Network,
Right.
you pay Elon over here $110 or $120 a month, but you not only have all of your programs using, let's say, you can use YouTube TV, you can use whatever. So for the same money, you not only get all of your channels, all the stuff that you want, let's say, but then you get everything else. You get your VoIP, you get your calling, you get your internet, you get, it's just all inclusive because once again, everything is data, period.
Yeah.
That's all that it is. And the same thing holds true with these phone companies. These phone companies are trying to get in bed with companies like Starlink. And T-Mobile was very smart to get involved with Starlink. Just think about that. These other companies, once again, it's all data. That's it, right? That's all they're selling at this point. And how long are they going to be able to do that once it is all data and you could just simply pick up the phone and make a phone call, using, FaceTime or anything like that because it is data and you don't have to worry about an actual calling anything. How many minutes, how many this, that's all dead. That's all gone. It's antiquated, right? So once again, a lot of these companies are really gonna have to shuck and jive and figure out what they're going to do. What is their next thing? Because their thing has been making them just oodles of money. They've been just raping us for countless years. In fact, I have to call AT&T. I'm supposed to call AT&T the last 2 days now because the bill is like $50 more than it normally is. And I'm like, what the heck happened here?
Don't look at me. I didn't get an extra app for $50. John has another question on Instagram. How accurate are the dates exposed by SpaceX and the official map?
The dates?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what he means by that. John, rephrase. Which dates are you talking about?
Maybe on the map that
maybe he's talking about
status.
data from the map. It's possible. Let me go over to Starlink map just so you guys can see this. This just happened. This just happened today or yesterday. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this map.
It's more,
now, this
more blue.
never looked like this before, guys. This did not look like this. All right. Do you notice something? So dark area, waiting list. Light area, available. Look at this crap. This was never like this. Matter of fact, the entire West Coast, all of this California, all of this used to be dark. It was dark even further over here. All of Florida was dark. Now, matter of fact, let's go into where we are. All right. So what do we have? Waiting.
Oh, we have pockets of waiting still.
Yeah. So we're located. So we're located right about here. And of course, this is our cell, and it's dark. Damn it! This is our cell right here.
We're around here.
No, this is the lake right here.
Yeah,
and we're right underneath
this
it.
is where
yeah. That's right.
He doesn't even know where he lives.
Well, it's covered. All right.
Do you need these?
Let me see.
Don't stretch them out.
I won't stretch it out. Try them.
Try them. Oh wow.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Oh my! How can you see with that?
Because I can see with them. That's the whole point.
Oh hell no. That's shit. I can't see nothing. Anyways, supposedly, Fab is right. We are now in the clear. We have availability. This just came to pass like the last couple of days, where all of this is like available now. It's no longer that dark area.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? And when I say what does that mean for the increase that they were saying? Now they said that they were going to, anyone that's in an available area that there's like a low amount of traffic, let's say,
Right.
they're going to be reduced to $90 a month. Anyone that's in like a waiting list type of area where there's a lot of congestion, it was going to go up to $120 a month.
Right. Last time we talked about this.
Yeah. So what is our bill? I don't know. Matter of fact, I'm going to look this up right now. See if you can find another question while I do this, because I think that'd be interesting to find out. Do we now have a discount because we are in a quote unquote available area, or do we not? I don't know. I really don't know. Let me see here. Is there more questions that pop up there?
No, mostly people just commenting on.
Derek says, I've been using IPTV for years and works great. Absolutely. IPTV to me it's where it's at. I mean, you are in control then, instead of these companies like DirecTV and Dish Network. Instead of them being in control and telling you what is in your package, you decide. You get like a basic package. You might bring in HBO if you want it. You might get, I don't know, Peacock. You might get whatever the hell you want, right?
Yeah.
And you get it. $10 here, $10 there. Yeah, it can get expensive too. But
A la carte.
it's a la carte.
Yeah.
But the thing is you're in control.
Yes.
Instead of these companies in
Right.
control.
Right.
I remember there was a time.
We used to get the HBO package, remember?
Right.
Like it came with all these other channels that you didn't want, but if you wanted that specific HBO or Showtime, then you had to get this package and you're paying for all this extra stuff that you just didn't use.
Right, yeah. And then what? You have all this this waste that
Wasted,
I mean, they're like,
I don't know,
you have
channels.
200 channels. I'm like, what the
And-
hell? What are you going to do with 200
And
channels?
like you said, it wasn't a la carte, so you're still paying
You're
for
getting-
it, whether
right.
they tell you that you are or not.
Absolutely.
I think everybody should look up their area to see if their bill did go up or stay the same, or
Yeah, you
because
guys
obviously
should
it's updated.
check into it. Look it up. I'm going to look it up right now on mine.
Ryan said 125 down, 20 up just now in Montana. Latency was 44. Nice chatting with you too on Friday night. I'm
That
glad
is
you're
nice.
here.
Excellent, Ryan. That's some nice numbers right there. 44 latency is fantastic. Our bill is still the same. So I'm at 110 right now. We'll see if we're going to go up to 120. Maybe it'll happen in April, like April 1st
Right.
or something. So I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Who is this?
Cleopatra said 120 won't start till April.
Gotcha.
There you
you go. So that is April 1st. We'll see what happens. Who goes up, who goes down. We'll see.
Ralph, what camera microphone do you use for the live stream? Do you use OBS Studio? Question.
Good question, Ralph. So right now we're shooting, what do we got here? We have a Canon EOS R. That's this angle. I have a Sony over here that's not on if I want to do another angle. Then on the other side over here, I would have a Canon 80D that's also on a stand. I have like multiple things. We have another Sony. This is a ZV-1. We have a ZV-1F, which is really kind of cool. If you guys not seen that, check that out. I ended up getting one of those for my son, and he loves it. It's I think it's a 20 millimeter lens. It doesn't come in and out. That's it. Just straight prime 20, but it looks amazing. It's excellent for doing videos or something. ZV-1F. That's it. Yeah, Sony ZV-1F. As far as the microphone, what do we have here for mics? You know, honestly, guys, these people, I get mics all the time. I'm not sure which ones these are. I'll put it in the matter of fact. I'll put it in the description.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't see the name on there. I've gotten a lot of mics when I was doing a lot of mic reviews. There was a lot of companies sending in mics, so this might have been one of them that we sent in. I really like these. They have like a really nice. Let me pull this off. It's gonna make noise, but hang in there. You see this, guys? Look at that. you have a cardioid pickup. You can have an ultra. You can have something. In other words, you can have something omni cardioid. You can have it very directed. Really, really good mics. Really good mics. I'll put it in the description. Okay, I'll let you know which one this is. I've tried a lot of them, and I was having companies send in. They just kept on sending me mics till finally I'm like, I don't want another mic. Please stop sending them. So, but you'll find probably a review on these mics. Once again, in the description, I will put what mic that is. As far as the broadcasting software, OBS Studio is kind of like the de facto. That is kind of what, I mean, a lot of us use just because it's very flexible and there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. And then I have a Stream Deck for switching between scenes. We also have, another mic which I normally use, which is an RE20, Electro Voice RE20. That's like an old radio mic from way back in the day. That's like the Rush Limbaugh mic. Let me see if I can bring that over here. Let me see. There we go. So, can you see that? So that's the Rush Limbaugh mic, you know, this, but he has it, of course, in gold. He had it gold plated, but this mic is just an amazing mic. This thing, like I said, has been around for probably 50 plus years. This goes into a 286S DBX for compression. So this works out pretty good. There you go. Just roll it out there somewhere. So there's all kinds of different things that are constantly being used. So we switch. I try switching up a lot because I get bored. I got that ADD shit, and it just makes me crazy, and I can't just do one thing all the time. It makes me nuts. So I'm like constantly looking for like the next best thing, you know, like catching flies or something. So anyways, I hope that kind of answers that. What else do we have there?
Cleopatra said, I'm tempted to buy the high performance dish, but then again, I wonder they're still going to go through this stupid data caps next month.
Okay, so what she's saying, or what she's asking here, is about the high performance dish. The high performance dish, instead of being like the dish that we have currently, which is more longer and like, I guess it would be long than wide. All right, it's more like a rectangle. The high performance dish is almost square. It's like 22 inches by like 21 inches or something like that. And while it does perform well, especially when it comes to like snow and rain fade, it's $2,500 for the damn dish. Does it perform that much better? And I guess that's something for you to decide. I would say that if you wanted to buy that dish and use your current residential service, I would say don't bother. You're not going to get that much out of it. But if you're going to get that dish with a business plan that gives you greater amount of up and down speed, as well as I think it's greater cap if they ever do go to a cap, then it makes sense to me. So that's my idea on it. If anyone's new, just got here, once again, put a Q before your questions so that we can kind of hone in on those questions and make sure everyone gets answered tonight. What else we have here? Kind of like, I feel like I'm missing everyone here. What else we got here? Peter says, okay, let me go and roll down here a little bit. You go and look over there and I will go and look here. Oh, are we also broadcasting on Instagram too? I think so. Okay. So if any questions come in there, let me know. What else? What does it say there? I want to know how. 10. See that?
Those are your peeps.
That's my peeps. What else do we got here? Kamikaze Ozzy says UFC, NFL, UFC.
Yeah.
For me, for sure.
Central Kentucky rain, 38 down and 12 up.
Not bad. That's not bad. What do we have here? We used to be on a waiting list in the area in Montana, but now we have availability and price is still showing $90. Good. Wow.
Holding.
$90 and holding. That's sweet, Ryan. That's really, really good. Let's see. Here's a question, Joseph. Do you think that the Generation 1 will be replaced when the new minis come online? So it's a good question. I don't think so. And the reason being is the minis that they put up there are more of a means of providing more data and reducing, I guess, the amount of congestion. So the bottom line here is those minis are going to have 4x the throughput, 4x the speed, 4x the data, right? So you're not going to get 4x the speed to your house or to your business or to your boat or to your aircraft or whatever. But what's going to happen is they're going to have 4x the capability. So they'll be able to, instead of only right now providing data to 1 million people, they'll be able to provide it to 4 million people with current speeds, right? So I'm going to say that probably what will end up happening is they'll get different dishes out there over time, but I can't see a dish one, a generation one, becoming antiquated anytime soon, because it's just simply receiving that information, and that is it, you know? So that's the way I look at it.
Fixler's Joseph, do you think that Gen 1 will be replaced
Yeah,
when the
that's
new
the one that we
minis
just
come?
went over.
Okay.
And then we got Jerry.
And,
My Wi-Fi router has 2 inputs, Spectrum and Starlink. It keeps me going even if one or the other goes down. Absolutely. I've talked to you guys about this for a while. I ended up doing videos on redundancy and having multiple,
Right.
internet connections.
Yeah, just
right
in
now
case.
we have AT&T,
Right.
which is mobile. We have
Which isn't great, but yeah.
Which isn't great. We have AT&T Uverse
Right.
that we had for the last 20 plus years.
Do you even really use it?
It's just there as a backup, just
Right.
like what they're doing here. Just
Right.
right, like FX.
But see,
LRS
then
is
you're
doing.
like talking about having this extra cost too. It's like you kind of need it as a backup, but then after so much
Yeah.
time, it's time to let it go.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
But,
Well, you would hope, but then
yeah. And the problem with that is like, okay, so if you're in a rural environment and you're having spotty coverage and
Right.
stuff, having that backup is really powerful. Like right now we have Starlink and we have AT&T. And in the router that I have it just like you have it. I have it as a failover. So if one goes dead, the other one picks up the slack, right? So I have not heard shit from her, okay, about the TV going dead or her program going down and spinning in a long time. But she doesn't know why, but now she knows. Because when Starlink goes down, which sometimes happens, and because there's a lot of rain, well, we have AT&T Uverse, which is under the ground, and it's usually pretty solid. So now it switches over, and now
Basically,
we're watching TV through AT&T.
You're just lucky we have Starlink.
I am lucky we have Starlink. Matter of fact, that's why I started this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because it's been nice.
Yeah.
Flying Pretzel, there he is.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that.
Cleopatra. Aren't they also launching Starship next month? If successful, won't they start launching the version 2 satellites?
Satellites, yes. So
Let it go, William.
it's the EPA. I mean, for the most part, is what's been screwing things pretty much. I mean, Starship would have been off the ground many, many moons ago. But, they're worrying about noise. They're worrying about being too close to a location that could possibly, if things went sideways, literally, blow up a pad that would actually service like the ISS, like the International Space Station and stuff like that. So there's a lot of reasons, but a lot of it has to do with environmental protection. And I think once they get past all that, they've been giving Elon a lot of shit for a long time because they don't like him and he doesn't like them, right? I mean, that's really it. The reason he bought Twitter, because he doesn't like them. He didn't buy Twitter as an investment. He's not making any money at it, right? He doesn't like them. That's why he blew $44 billion. So, you have to have some people like that also that stand up on either side. It doesn't make a difference, right? Because you need balance. So he is that balancing, lever for the most part. So, I mean, I can respect that. So it's good. But what, your question is, will it change when the Starship launches? I have a feeling we're not going to see Starship launching next month. I don't. Within this year, yes. Next month, probably not. Will things change? Yes, because now instead of using those minis, those version 2 minis, we're going to see the version 2 maxis. Can you say that? Maxis? I guess.
I mean, I guess.
It's kind of shitty. But anyway,
I know,
yeah,
it's not
so
great.
the version 2 Maximuses. Maximi?
I can't.
Anyways, so yeah, so the big ass ones, all right, will be able to fit inside the top capsule of the spaceship. You know, that Starship that is that mega rocket, let's call it, Starship or heavy rocket. Whereas with the Falcon 9, what they're doing is they're creating these minis, which are small micro versions of the full sizes, and they're putting them in an opposite pattern. Instead of like this, they switched them cockeyed, and they can only fit 21 of them in that tip of the rocket. So, you know, once we see that big mega rocket go up, yes, we're going to see the big satellites going up there. Things are going to get really nice, really quick. Those maxis are going to be up there, all right? Things are going to get better. It's just, I don't think next month. It's going to be a little bit.
Let's see.
What is this one?
D'Hide.
Yeah, D'Hide says.
Seems like Starlink is trying its best to create a satellite-based service monopoly, and if so, the government will find a way to stop them.
Yes, so, yeah, I agree with that. But even though it seems that they are, or probably are, going to be a monopoly when it comes to LEO, right? Low Earth orbit satellites. What Elon's doing, which is really smart, is he is going to be ferrying into outer space, into LEO, like Amazon's crap. OneWeb's, you know, from the UK's, their crap. So he's doing it in such a way that he ends up with a couple of competitors, but there's no way for them to catch up. I mean, he is the guy, he's the rocket ship man, right? He's the one that they're asking to ferry their stuff up into orbit because the different companies that they're using can't do anything that he can do as quickly as he can do it. So, you know, I don't know. Like I said, Amazon, they've been trying to do something for quite some time. I just don't see it happening. You know, I mean, it will happen eventually, but I don't know. I think a monopoly is probably where we're going to be for the foreseeable future. And you're probably right. You know, the government will get involved in it. That's just the way it is, you know.
What else is new?
Exactly. What else is new? The government gets involved with everything. Don't we love that?
Hold on, wait.
Oh, you're drinking your
Let
apple
me
juice?
get my drink.
Yeah, your apple juice? Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what do I got?
My apple juice tastes like
Hey, guys.
peanut butter.
I'm sorry, but I'm not drinking tea tonight.
Oh, why are you using that cup?
What does it say on the back? It doesn't say. Oh, wait.
Because you...
There.
I can't.
Pick your poison.
People have no idea.
Yeah, she has to deal with a lot of crap. I know. It's all right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Once again, if you're new, you just got here, put a Q before your questions so that we get to it. Let me just go through some of this here. Let me just go back
You
up
left
in
off
here.
over here.
All right, let's see. Yeah, it was good videos on load balancing testing. Thank you very much. Yeah, load balancing is important. That was from FXLRSAZ. Load balancing is very important because then you don't have to worry about going down all the time. It just simply makes sense. William says, happy wife, happy life.
I don't know, William. I think he's still working on that one. 30 years almost in.
God bless. Let me see here. Lane says, new sats have a cell phone tower, tech to receive cell calls, data, and text correct. Okay, so yes, kinda. So the new version 2s do have a means of communication via, I guess, let's just call it cell. It's actually a different band, but yes, it does have that built in. And so what's going to end up happening is T-Mobile is now on board with Starlink. So what's going to happen is T-Mobile and Starlink are going to be doing this backhauling between the two. So if you are like in Antarctica somewhere and there's no T-Mobile tower, which there I'm sure isn't, you'll be able to use your T-Mobile phone with Starlink as long as you're outside. So that's really cool. Now they're going to start out first with like text, like emergency stuff and text data, and then they're going to move into data like calling, and then finally into actual like almost video streaming straight from your phone. So I don't know what that's going to look like as of yet, because I mean, you have these things and the radios in them are not made for that, really. Can they be used for it? Yes. And the reason why is because the satellites are going to now have those, let's say that they're able to create those microwaves heading down to Earth that will be able to connect with them. Great. But they're probably going to be different phones that have better radios in them that maybe can actually get that signal inside in comparison to having to be outside. Because I think right now you're going to have to be outside to get that to work. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Apple has been doing something like this with another company so that they now also have emergency service with your Apple. Even if you have absolutely no service, it will give, like, I think you'll have communications, like emergency communications.
I think so.
I think they were doing something like that.
I mean, I hit the buttons all the time, whatever the combination is. I don't mean to.
Yeah, we have the cops at the house all the time. That's because
that
you
was
hold
your
down
son.
buttons.
No, that was your son once.
Yeah, we did have the cops at the house.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Let's see what else do we have here. Kamikaze says spin circles can
the spinning
drive
circles.
you nuts. Yes, Kamikaze Ozzy, spinning circles. Just love that.
Yeah.
Love that. So it's looking at her face. Yes. Yes. Derek says I followed on let me see, one of your videos and have a local microwave internet provider at 25 down and 7 up, and Starlink. That's perfect. The microwave provider is on the router as a backup. That's perfect. Your video was spot on. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, Derek. Yes, it's just good. If you have, I have something that a company sent to me. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere over there. I'm going to be working on like something like that. Being able, some people don't realize this, but if you get T-Mobile, for example, and you're in a rural environment, you don't have to just use your phone to get data. You can actually get an antenna, a directional antenna, and point it at their tower and then have a receiver or transmitter inside your home. And now you will have amazing speed on your phone or on your router, on whatever. So, you know, it's there's a lot. I'm going to get into that like in the next couple of weeks. Let's see, what else do we have here?
No customer service is still a kill shot for the majority of people. I agree. I am a customer service person, and that is the one thing I cannot stand is when you're spending money and you can't get a hold of a person or someone that completely has no idea what's going on because they're not here. I don't even know where they're at.
With an airline just recently?
Yeah, and they're here, and they still don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, then we have like, our daughter was flying out, and our son-in-law.
Yeah.
And then
they canceled
the
their flight.
flight.
Mm-hmm. They delayed it 2 or 3 times, and then finally they canceled it.
Right.
And then they had no available flights for a few days after the fact, so they had to get a refund and then book through another airline, but that airline didn't leave until 6:30 the following morning.
Right.
So then they had to go and get their luggage at the baggage claim. By the time they got their luggage and tried to go back, TSA was already closed. So our poor kids had to sleep outside of the airport baggage claim in that baggage claim area.
And
it was disgusting that would even happen.
And the shit of it is, there's no phone number. And I'm going to call it out. It's Frontier. Frontier Airline has no phone number to call in case there's something like this goes on.
Yeah. But they don't. And the thing about it, though,
how is that today? No phone number.
Well,
and that's what's going on with Starlink, guys. That's exactly what's going on. That's
and
why a lot of people
don't care, though. That's the next thing that really makes me mad is they do not care, and we have our options are so limited the way things are right now that you pay for things and there are no ramifications for any of these companies. They just get away with it, and we have to suck it up, and it's just horrible.
So,
anyways,
and that's what they were saying. But so Starlink is the exact same problem, and I've said this since day one, and if any of the people over there from Starlink listens to my nonsense, they've heard me say it over and over. The major problem that they have that needs to be corrected is their communication, their means of communication. There is no phone number that you can get a hold of anyone. There is no 24-hour chat or even, let's say, 8-hour chat. There's no chat at all. There's no direct email address until I found one that I gave you guys in one of the last couple of videos. But generally, there is no email address. If you go try finding one, you're not finding one. I promise you. Go check that out.
I mean, that's why you started this whole Starlink thing.
That's why I started this whole thing.
To share because of the frustration of not being able to get customer service and get information and how to and.
Yeah, that's what we have to have the shirts, right?
I know I'm trying,
Starlink
you guys,
technical
but
support.
I'm really picky. And again, customer service, quality of product today is just so bad, and things are so expensive.
I know.
It's just.
In the last video, a lot of you guys wanted us to put together like a Starlink technical support shirt, and we were going to do it. And like Fab said, the qualities of the shirts are just crap.
I want you guys to look good, not like potatoes.
Yeah, like a sack, you know. Can't stand.
Might as well get burlap and start sewing.
Flying Pretzel, thank you so much once again. Says what's in the cup.
What's in your cup?
I cannot say what's in here.
I can't say what's in mine,
I'll be demonetized.
But mine tastes way better. It tastes like peanut butter, and the second part of the name is ball. That's all I gotta say. It's Friday night.
Peanut butter ball. Just stop.
I'm sure people can figure it out.
Just stop.
You stop.
I don't even know.
Who's even drinking that? Who drinks that out of a cup?
I don't know.
Like an old man.
An old man. What do we get? Mr. Smith says Elon comes out with a Tesla phone. I will switch over all 4 lines. Mr. Smith, I am with you. I would love to see a Pi phone. I would love to see a Tesla phone. I would like to see an Elon phone, whatever the hell he calls it. I will dump the Apple phone as you wouldn't even know. It would just be all gone. And just like you, 4 lines.
I would do
lines.
A video on it. I would
run it over. We'll run it over.
Together.
Yeah, together.
I'll do mine.
Right. Okay. We're going to run the damn things over, right? So do it, Elon. Put out a damn phone already. Put out a phone. Let's see. Clinton says, you're going to look.
Wait, did you get Peter's question?
Oh, no. What do we got here? Have Elon got in contact with NASA? Have Elon got in contact with, or a contract with NASA? So
I think you need my glasses.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's over here on. So this
but
is.
But you have it over there.
Yeah, I do, but I need to scroll down. Anyway, so I think Elon with that whole contract with NASA thing, Elon has contracts with everyone. It seems. I mean. He's got contracts.
Gosh, I wish we had contracts.
Yeah, he's got contracts with everyone. Government contracts. It's just tons of contracts. I mean, with the UK, with the OneWeb, he's got contracts now. I'm almost positive with Amazon. Amazon finally said, you know what, we give up. We need you to try to get this thing, up there. Anyway, so yeah, he's got like a ton of contracts, and just the building alone. So we're in South Florida. If we drive like 2.5, 3 hours, I guess, to Cape Canaveral, how long?
Oh yeah, it's like 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours north of us is Cape Canaveral, where they launch all these rockets. What do you think, guys? One of these days, I'm going to go and maybe I'll record live during a launch. Would that be cool?
That would be really cool. We've been saying that forever, but every time we plan it, they reschedule the launches.
Yeah.
So it's like once you're there, you have to stay for a couple of days.
That's the problem. We have to go there and get a hotel just in case they postpone it. Because, if probably 6. If 6 birds fart near that area, they will just cancel. It's scrubbed. It's gone. So, but I think that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. We'll just go live from the Cape and just, you can, watch it. That would just be kind of cool.
We'll stick Joe on a satellite. Watch fly out.
Will launch me?
Yeah.
What an ass.
But Starlink, see how far he goes. Then I'll try calling you, see if it works.
Now she's going to launch me. The fuck? All right, so let's see. It says, Zach Morris. No, right here is Zach Morris' phone. Yeah. Let's see.
Any
Paul says,
updates?
any update on Star Shield?
Shield.
Nothing really on the Star Shield. What they're doing with that, I really don't know. I think they're having a bit of it right now, trying to figure out this version 2 thing, because there was so many customers that were so pissed. I think there was okay.
Hello, daughter. Hello, daughters. Sorry. Our daughters are watching us.
Oh,
Hi,
wow.
baby.
The daughters. Yeah, so that whole, the Star Shield thing and all that, I think that they're having a problem with this version 2 deal where, the congestion has been such a major factor, number one, and number two, the point that there is absolute no way of getting a hold of them, and people are just getting pissed, and they're migrating away from SpaceX, Starlink, right? So they're trying to make amends. They're trying to fix it because I think that there is some churn going on and they're losing people. Whereas before they were getting people, they couldn't handle the number of people they're getting. And now I think they're losing more than that they want. That's my personal opinion. I don't know. I don't work for them, right? Even though I'm going to have the shirt that says that I do, probably get sued for it, but we're going to do it anyways. What else here? Is Freedom phone flop? What is this flop? Yes, also on board with the Elon phone. Yeah, Kamikaze Ozzy said he'll take one of those phones too. I will definitely take one.
Which brings me back to a comment that someone had made.
You look over there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Peter says.
William had said, now if Elon only owned Meta.
Could you imagine if Elon just got pissed enough to buy Meta?
I mean, you know what? I would drink to that.
I would drink to that shit. So, I mean, why? I mean, I don't even know. I don't even want to go down. I'm not going to go down.
Yeah,
that,
let's not.
Right?
Let's just.
Shouldn't go. Okay.
Let's just.
See, you caught me. I was gonna get nasty. Okay, I'm not gonna do it though. Let me see. Jim says, "Hi, I tried. Here it's no dice, and only reason it's phone here because of the internet and Skylink. Yeah, Skylink. It basically is what's going to end up happening here. If you have any question, Peter, thank you so much. Anyone have a question? Put a Q before your question. This way we can hone in on it. Terry says, I'm in Missouri right now. No internet. Can't contact Starlink. Anyone know where to go or who to call? So, Terry, you have no internet, but you're on right now with us. So, are you on using your phone? If you are on the internet using your phone, you can go to starlink.com and then you can register with them. So, if you're in an area that is available, you're in Missouri. Let's see here. You are in Missouri. Let me look at this map. Bear with me here. There's Mississippi. All right. So yeah. So if you are in an area that is dark, let me see. Let me bring this over for you so you guys can see this. All right. There you go. Where is it? Let me go in here. So if any of you guys are in an area that is dark and it says waiting list, then when you try to sign up, and this is specifically for Terry, if you try to sign up, it's going to say, hey, we want $99 from you, and then what we will do is we'll put you on the waiting list, and once available, you will be able to get Starlink. Now, what I tell people is try to get their best effort and stay on the waiting list, because what they're doing now is, even if there is not space for you because you're not in a light blue area where it's available, you're in a dark area where there is congestion and it's oversold, let's say, you could still get on that waiting list, stay in line, and get best effort. Best effort is basically Starlink service, but half speed. They don't say that, but I'm saying that because I've done all the research on it. Trust me, it's like half speed if there's a lot of congestion. If there's not a lot of congestion, you're going to get pretty close to full speed. So it's not a bad thing. And then once it is available, you will immediately get on the residential or business or whatever you originally applied for, which is really cool. And they actually do it. I've had people DM me and they said, oh my God, I had best effort, and now all of a sudden on my bill, it says residential service. They didn't even tell them. They just moved them over as soon as there was a vacancy, let's say. You're looking over there, and I'm looking over here.
No, you took it away. I can't look.
I did take yours away.
How are you going to tell me no? I'm looking right at it.
There you go. There, over here. Yes? Okay, here you go. You get the mouse.
Wow.
I'm going to get two mice. You can have one and I have one. Then we'll just fight.
Great.
God. Just like the government possibly.
Cleopatra, ball head bezels couldn't catch up with Elon. I agree.
That's exactly right. You know, I'm glad you said it and I didn't.
I said
There's
it.
no way. He's got more money than he has got sense. Okay.
You know, some people have really high IQs. That does not always make them wise.
No. Yeah, it doesn't always translate, does it?
No.
No.
And just because you have a ton of money, who cares?
Yeah. They still do stupid shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I just had to put that out there.
yeah. Greg Smith says, I'm guessing T-Mobile might be going to provide some sort of Starlink-based station-type connection on their tower transmitters. Yes. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to have to do much of anything. The way I'm understanding it, but you know, I'm not a technician with this. Supposedly, what they have going on right now, the majority of the work is being done on the satellite side of things. And that's the whole reason for the version 2s. The version 2s have that capacity, that capability to do backhauling, whereas version 1s and 1.5s don't. That's the skinny, basically. Let's see. They just won't. Kamikaze says just even 9 to 5 chat would be, it would be nice. Kamikaze Ozzy says yes, it would be nice to have a 9 to 5 chat. Yes, anything would be nice, actually. Any kind of tech support would be nice.
I'm going to start singing again, like back in the day. Reach out and touch someone. Anybody at this point. Right?
I guess you're right.
I'm just saying.
You're right. Clinton says, call the shirt company customer service. Yeah, we're going to do that, Clinton. We're going to call the customer service at the shirt company, and it's going to be in Bangladesh or who knows where. That's the problem. And then that's why a lot of times you'll see me wearing shirts from companies that the shirts are made in the United States, just because I want to support my country. And like if you are in, let's say, the UK, I would expect you to wear shirts from the UK, right? Like I don't want to wear shirts that were made in Hong Kong or in Taiwan if I don't have to. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. You know, but for me, if you have the capability, I think it's nice to support your own country or support, you know, even down to, for me, supporting your local growers. We buy for forever, you know, we're in a rural type of area. It's more suburbs, I guess, a more rural suburb. But we would buy local produce. We would buy local honey. You know, even when it's like $30 for like this much honey, we'll still do it because number one, it's better for you, but then also you're supporting the people that are local to you. Right. So, I mean, I think that that's good. And that's why I said too, with this whole, you know, chat or whatever they're going to do over there at Starlink, I think that they need to get call centers in the different regions. So if I was to place a call, I get someone, you know, from Minnesota or someone
that knows the area,
that knows me, that knows my language, that knows the way I articulate things, in comparison to calling someone that says, you know, yes, Mr. Joseph, Mr. Joseph, yes, Mr. Joseph, Mr. Joseph, don't know a damn thing what I'm saying, right? And anyway, so that's my thoughts on it.
Huh? And there you have it.
That's it.
That's it.
All right. We're good. Let's see. What else here?
It says, as long as Elon's phone isn't connected with T-mobsters, I will swap Elon in a second.
Yeah. No, I know. It's okay. So the bottom line, and I'd said this in my last couple of videos, is, I mean, it's a triopoly is what I call it. You know, T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T. I mean, these people are as freaking shady as they come. I mean, you guys know it. I mean, you know, you could just hear the phone calls like, hey, yeah, we're going to go up $10. Yeah, you're going to do the same? Okay, I'm going to go up 5. Okay, you go up 5, I'm going to go to 10. Next time you go up to 10, I'll go up to 5. Okay, cool. And this is the way it goes. And that's why our goddamn bill is like $250.
Because you're trying to call Elon.
Like, does it need to be $250
No.
for like 3 phones?
No.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. That's why I got to get on the phone with them.
Yeah.
I've been saying it for 2
You
days.
said
I got to
you were
call
gonna
them
get,
tomorrow.
like, we're gonna
I'm going
do,
to
like,
tell
a
them
bat
tomorrow.
phone.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to tell them.
You're gonna tell
I mean,
them
I'm going
tomorrow?
to tell them tomorrow. I'm going to tell. I'm going to do. You know what I'm going to do,
Elon?
guys? If you guys were here at the beginning, you know what I did with Dish Network. I think I'm going to do it with AT&T tomorrow, and then I'm going to record it and I'm going to play it for you guys. I'm going to just tell them to go and take a long walk off a very short, stubby bridge, because I'm just sick of it. I am. Will you be upset? Probably.
A little bit.
Okay. I can't do it then, guys. Why not?
No, I mean, you can do it. Do your thing.
I'm just so tired of it. It's like so annoying.
I
It's
know.
annoying.
It's a lot of annoying things going on nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. All right, where do we leave off here?
Being stalked. Jim said we're being stalked by the kids. Yes.
I know, right?
They keep us on the straight.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, they give us their input.
Yeah. Parents are on the tubes. What is this one? Let's see. This is Tyrone says, just ordered RV Starlink package, and I'm in the West Coast of Canada. Heard it works great. Good work to keep it up. Thank you so much.
You.
Really
Good luck. Good luck with your
appreciate it.
package.
Yes. Good luck. I hope you get that RV. Now, let me know. You're in Canada. A lot of people in Canada are getting their hardware for half off, guys. Half off.
It's really good.
That's amazing. So yeah, let us know if you got your hardware half off. That would be cool. Comics guys, he said, look at this. I'd pee on a spark plug if it would help get rid of an iPhone spy device. Yeah. You know what? So when you pee on the spark plug, make a video of it, right? And nothing explicit, and I will put it online, okay? When I am backing up over her phone and she's backing up over mine.
I thought you were going to say when you're backing up over me.
No, I'm not going to back
I'm
over
gonna
you.
back up over you.
No, I'm going to back over your phone, and you can back over my phone, and we will video it.
We'll video each other.
Yeah. And he,
great.
right here, Kamikaze, is going to pee on a spark plug.
I think we should all do it at the same time. It'd be great. We'll break the internet.
Just break it. God, yeah, that would be good. Yeah, the kids are stalking. Let me see. Don't forget, put that Q before your questions. Where are the shirts? Ryan said.
Ryan, we're working on it. It's just, gosh, I'm really picky and things are just not nice.
The shirts, I'm going to blame on her.
No, I mean, I'll take it. If we're going to do shirts, I want them to fit nice. I want them to be a good quality, and I just don't want them to be cheesy. So.
But we're gonna have cheesy writing on there, right?
Yeah, but like that's
fun. But still, it'd be
it's
nice
fun,
to wear.
But
yeah,
you don't want to wear something cheesy. You put it to wash, and then it's like.
Yeah, and then it ends up like.
Yeah. Why are you walking like this?
Yeah, like some.
Or twisted.
Yeah.
That's not a look.
No. Let me see. From Texas on RV, playing 7 down and 1 to 2 up. Wow. That is, I mean, that's slow. 7 down and 1 to 2 up, but that's not too bad if you're in an RV roaming around in the middle of nowhere. Think about it. There's a lot of people that do not have access at all to internet. I might be doing a piece sometime soon, and hopefully I can have my son-in-law on with me and talk about Starlink on a rig, like a big rig. Like, there's a lot of people that not only drive a rig locally, right, but travel the entire country, okay? And a lot of times, you know, your Garmin might not be working right, or you're in a situation. Yep. And so, yeah, maybe we can have Kevin on. And I want to talk about that a little bit, because I was reading an article a couple of weeks back, and I haven't had time to do anything with it. But I think it's really interesting where there's a lot of truck drivers now that actually are putting Starlink mounted to the top.
Yeah.
And now
I mean, it's like an RV.
Yeah, they could be in the middle of a mountain. They can be anywhere. And they literally have now emergency service. You know what I mean? Coverage anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere. I mean, I think that's just amazing.
It is.
It really is
It
amazing. So anyways, that's something that I definitely want to do sometime soon. Once again, Put a Q before your questions if you have a question. How about this one? Have you seen a lot of people
magnetic storm
getting transferred from best effort to residential? That's from Cleopatra. Yes, there is a lot of people that are being transferred from best effort to residential. And Starlink doesn't even tell them when they do it, which I respect. They just do it. So look at your bill, and at the top, if it says residential, you're on residential. If it says best effort, you're still in best effort. But there's people that were on best effort for a long time, and all of a sudden they looked at their bill like, holy crap, I'm residential now. So that's cool. Arnie says, it seems the Colorado area, part of California, are back as available. Yes, that whole West Coast was not available for a long time. Now it's all available. It's just weird. This map. So I gave, not Elon, but just Starlink in general, a lot of shit for about 2 weeks about this whole map, which I think was BS. All right. And I explained why I thought it was BS and that's when they started doing that $90. Like, oh, we're going to give these people a discount and these people are going to go up in price. And I'm like, okay. So I researched it and I looked at it. I even did a poll for you guys. And it was like over 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 people took the poll. And it was 6% of the 7% of the people got a reduction in price, and everyone else got a price raise. So, yeah. Anyways, so I don't know I'm glad to see this map look the way it does now, because that means that things are opening up for a lot of people, which is really, really good. We'll get to that in just a minute. Let's see, back up over here to that. Magnetic Storm says, question, I noticed some changes in the account under the management tab. It is now listing service plans, support page as well, and support information on plans and priority data, ready to implement cap. Great. Yes, you might be right. I don't know what's going to happen with these data caps. They said that they weren't going to go through, and then they were, and then they weren't, and then they were, and they kept on pushing the data caps back. So I speculate, like when this all started, it was like November, December. I was speculating that these data caps weren't going to go through because I thought that we would see a lot of the version 2s go up there. If the version 2s went up there, I think they don't need a data cap. Once again, the version 2s are 4x the capacity. They don't need to worry about a data cap until they hit 4 million people. Think about it, right? Do the math. So I don't know what's going to end up happening with this data cap. I hope they don't go through with it. But like you said, magnetic storm, it's possible. It's definitely a possibility. Let's see what else we have under here. Let's not forget, thank you so much. Thumbs ups are always necessary, right?
Yes.
Those thumbs ups, they're always helpful. Thank you so much, Kamikaze Ozzy. Let's see. It says Book Smart TV, Street Smart
versus Street Smart.
Gotcha. Book Smart versus Street Smart. Absolutely. There's a lot of Book Smart out there versus Street Smart. Street Smart, you learn that definitely on the streets, and you learn that from doing and not watching.
Book Smart, Street Smart. Book Smart, Street Smart.
Let's see. Peter, look at this guy. Peter says he's got down speed of 990 megabits down, or 1 gig, and he has an up speed of 1 gig also, fiber in Denmark.
This
is why I hate Peter. He shows up and he puts this shit up here.
Good for Peter. Don't hate on Peter, but he's also in Denmark.
You see?
We're out in the sticks in Florida in the swamp with the gators.
Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of lucky though.
No, we're lucky to have what we have. But you know what? So that just shows you, like, a lot of us here in the U.S. believe that, everything we have is the best, right? Because that's what the propaganda says. Okay, and it's not necessarily the case. Perfect example, here's Denmark, gig up, gig down, bi-directional gig. That's amazing. I have family members, Germany, Sicily, in the mountains, my cousins, in the mountains of Sicily, in the mountains with gigabit. What we have in the US is a very small amount of gigabit in comparison to the rest of the world. That's facts. Also, 5G that we have here, like on your phone, 5G plus now. It used to say 5GE.
Yeah, but you're still getting
It's BS. It's a
whatever.
different, it's not 5G. It's fake 5G.
It's
what we
faux
get here.
5G.
It's faux 5G. What they get overseas is 5G. I mean, you were in Israel on 3G. Wait. 3G.
Yeah.
And she had no problem.
No problems.
At
I was
all.
getting through, good Lord, I was getting through places using Google Maps. Thank God.
With no problem. This is
With- yeah.
3G in Israel. Okay. So it just goes to show like what we have here is just so antiquated that's why I've always said, a lot of these companies, they have been getting so much money, federal resources for so many friggin' years and have been promising 5G and fiber to the home, right? Fiber, we're going to do it. And they just keep on getting this money. Elon has been the only one that has gotten money from the government that's actually done a damn thing, okay, for the rural people. Okay, I think he's gone out there a little bit now with the business and the airlines and the boats and the trains and planes and UFOs and everything else. I think it's a problem, and that's why he oversold it, and now he's kind of stepping it back a little bit and having to fix and kind of beef up the system, right? Not happy with that, but it is what it is. Okay, you need to make money. If you don't make money, you can't stay in business. I want him to stay in business so I can have internet, right? That's number one. Number two, I want him to be profitable. Why? Because I want to see the company IPO. Why? Because I want to buy some stock. Because I think that it's that good. And I think an IPO will be really good because you'll get a massive injection and then Starlink's going to be even better. Right? So, I mean, that's the way I look at it. So yeah, actually, congratulations. That is Peter Madsen. This gig, bidirectional, that's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Let's see, what else we have here? Once again, put a Q before any of your questions. Put a Q. Data caps. How many data cap? Residential Starlink per month. So let's see. That is Cantamix. The data cap is going to be 1 terabyte. That's 1,000 gigabytes if it happens. Let's see. Let's go down here.
Nelson.
Yes, Nelson. Thank you so
Nilson.
much. Nilson?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for your
Thank
contribution.
you.
I really do.
From Boston.
From Boston. Thank you. What does he write there, Fab?
I'm from Boston and one of the first ones to sign up for this new invention. Elon Musk changed the way satellite internet works, and I cannot find anyone here using Starlink yet, but I am extremely happy with my service. That's wonderful.
Awesome. Yes. So I want to know, were you one of the first, like me, like back in the beta times? Or were you one of the first when they went with the version 1s, Gen 1s or Gen 2s or whatnot? I would love to hear. But I'm glad at least you're getting, really good coverage in Boston. Boston, Mass is in a light blue area, meaning that there is availability. So if anyone else like you needs coverage, they can get it immediately. They can sign right up, which is fantastic in comparison to a lot of the internal area of the United States that is all dark blue now that's still under a waiting list. So thank you once again. Thank you so much.
Gooseworks RC being hit with the half off ads, thinking about what hardware to pick up.
Yeah, so half off Gooseworks. I'm going to guess if you're seeing half off, chances are you're in Canada. You didn't say that, but I think Canada is the only place that's getting half off right now. So if you can get half off on the Starlink gear, by all means, pick up all the different things that you can get. Number one, make sure that obviously you get your full kit, but then also get a mount. Buy a mount before anything. Make sure you have a mount. Are you going to put it on a pole? Get a pole mount. If you're going to put it on your eaves, get an eave mount. If you're going to put it on your roof, get a roof mount. Make sure you get those also. Half off. Get an extra cable. 75-foot or 150-foot cable, get an extra cable. It's cold in Canada. There is still problems with the cables. The cables do melt sometimes, especially when they're under load. There's high amounts of watts going through them, high amps to melt the snow off as they get cold. Buy an extra cable. That's very important. Also they have like this porting thing that you drill through the wall. It's like a cap or something. I don't know. It's some other type of wall kit. Buy that too. Just anything you can buy at the time that you're getting half off, get it. There's no reason not to, and you're going to use it. The other thing that everyone should have, and if you're getting this service, make sure you get the Ethernet dongle. It's like 25, 35 bucks, worth its weight in gold. Because if not, you can't connect Starlink, if you have a version 2, with Wi-Fi is the only way you can go. You cannot connect it through Ethernet if you don't have that dongle. Get the damn dongle. It's cheap. Next one. Mr. Smith said, I have AT&T, 4 lines, $225 a month, and it went up $15.
That's crazy.
It's sick. It is sick. I mean, the numbers, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on cell phone. Man, if these, and like I said, if this satellite stuff goes through and we see like Verizon and all these companies really taking a hit, I will just love it. I will do cartwheels. I mean, just
can
think
we video that
you
too?
can video that shit. Because just think about it. They have been just raping the public. Just year after year after year after year. And once again, they are a triopoly, right? They have more money than God, and they all work. They're all in cahoots. And it doesn't matter which one you go with, it's all the same. The price ends up being the same. Pretty damn close.
Easy TV Ocala. How many hours have you talked about not being able to talk to Starlink?
That's a great question.
Isn't that a great question?
How many hours? Lots of hours, I would imagine. Many videos. And honestly, Easy TV, it's one of those things that I provide a service. I try to here and try to answer questions and give hopefully good information that will help people because they don't do it. So it's almost like a cottage industry. That's why I want a shirt, right? We can just have like Starlink customer service. Yeah. Because honestly, like these Hangouts, they end up being almost all about Starlink because people want to know about it.
Right.
Because it's just so...
Because they need it, because they have limited resources, and this is the only thing out there. This is how, once again, I keep repeating it, this is how this started for you.
Yeah. And then people cannot find all this information.
Right. Not everybody wants to live in a downtown area.
Right.
Some of us want property and privacy and peace and quiet. Downtowns are great. They're fun. But for some of us, that's okay for a little bit.
Yeah.
I like a place to park my car and my other car and whomever comes over's car. And I don't like people to just come out automatically and say, good morning. Can I have a cup of sugar? No, I don't want to see your cup of sugar.
No, it's true. And so we're...
My kids are going to be like, did she just say that?
She said that. But so we're...
I'm a little antisocial like that.
Yeah. We're on like 5 acres, right? We have, my son has made chicken coops. We have like roosters.
Which you haven't done the video of. We said we were...
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
All right. I will do a video. I'll do a video. I'm just going to record out there. Let's go buy the chicken coop.
You keep saying it, but you haven't done it.
He's going to be loud.
Yeah.
So the rooster is a big ass rooster, and he's loud as hell. I mean, he never skips leg day. His quads are like this, right? That thing is loud. He's not, and his name is Donald.
I know. You told them last time they asked for a video.
But there's people here that haven't seen.
I know, but you need to
Donald,
make the video. So
yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna
anyways,
whatever
we
video I'm gonna do. Yeah, we went off topic. Okay, let's get back on topic here. Let's see.
Canada. Tyrone just followed up with Canada is 50% off hardware.
Yeah, 50% off. Starlink could give some people in Starlink different areas for phone call center. It would be really nice. Yes, a phone center would be excellent. Skeleton.
Hi, just wanted to say thanks for the Starlink videos. I've been using Starlink here in the UK after Dishy became available for monthly rental.
Wow. So nice. You're the first person that I've heard that actually is renting a dish. That's awesome. That is awesome. I'd love to hear more about that, Skeleton. That'd be cool. I talked about it on one of my videos, and I never got a DM from anyone that actually did it and actually are currently renting Starlink. That's really cool. That is really cool. Mark says,
question, just an FYI from my last week's convo with you guys, I finally put up my Starlink up 28 feet high, fixed my problems. 175 to 230 down, 1728
hell.
up on the average in Gaylord, Michigan. That's
My
awesome.
God, that is really, really quick. That's good, Mark. That is
Yeah.
really, really good.
Jim, plus being in the RV, you don't get priority service. That's true.
That's right. Yeah, in the RV, you're getting, well, I mean, everything is kind of priority service. Everything is non-priority service
Yeah.
in the RV, no matter how you look at it.
Fran, does it really help to mount Starlink dish higher off the ground?
No, as long as it is not impeded by any obstruction, you can put it on the ground. It doesn't make any much of a dish, no difference at all. But if you do have trees or anything that's obstructing it, then it's going to make a big difference to get it off the ground so it can see open sky. That's what it needs to see. Mm-hmm. What else? We have here, how many data cap for residential, whatever, watching her in the Philippines. Wow, you're watching in the Philippines. That's Canta Mix. Wow, welcome from the Philippines. We got
Awesome.
People from all over today.
Yes.
That's
From
great.
Denmark to the Philippines
Yeah.
to Canada to California, everywhere.
So data cap, I don't know. Supposedly residential service will be data capped at 1 terabyte, but it is not 100% decided upon as of yet. So we really don't know. Let's see. Arnie says canceled AT&T wireless and landline.
He canceled everything.
Cable. Holy hell! Arnie's sitting on. What is he doing?
He's,
Canceled Starlink. Got fiber and landline.
Yeah.
So there you go. So
savings of
Arnie, there you
$240
go.
per month.
$240.
I mean, that's awesome.
Bucks. So what did he do? He canceled all services besides fiber. And this is what I'm saying. Everything is data today. So a lot of these companies are going to go out of business. And I am happy for them, right? Because a lot of them, like I said, have been just taking, giving nothing. So I think that's great, Arnie. If you can do it and just have fiber and get rid of your cell phone and get rid of your AT&T wireless and get rid of your cable company and get rid of all the rest of them and just use that fiber, I think that's wonderful. That's great. Saving $240 a month, that's not nothing to sneeze at. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of groceries. Well, not today.
Let's not talk about that. That's another whole other show.
That's another show.
Okay, Jerry said I put mine 20 feet up on the roof, no obstructions.
Wow.
That's really good.
Good job, Jerry. That's smart. That's smart.
Oh, here's a good question. Clinton Emerson, would you now do live shows after 11 p.m. if data caps take hold?
Probably not. And the reason being is my last month, I took a look at it. We hit like 800. I think it was 800. I think it was like 800. We were under the terabyte anyways. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. So we'll probably be at the right around the same time. But if not, she'll get pissed. And then, what do you say? Like, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, okay.
Something like that. So I don't know. Probably not. We'll probably do it about the same time. What is the next one? Goose.
Haha, the smirk. Something tells me the kinds of smarts are reversed.
Sometimes. Phil Camping and Touring says hi. I noticed here in Australia. Let's see, Australia. How are you doing? My upload speeds have dramatically decreased during the day, and I'm on residential service. Yeah, a lot of times if you see that, it has to do with some type of congestion. So in your area, there's probably a lot of people using the service in your area. That's normally what happens. So for us, we have an RV location, right? A KOA, like near us.
Literally right down the road.
So during any type of seasonal time when there's a lot of campers.
Like now, a lot of people are trying to come now.
Right. So what will happen then is we will get congested and then our speeds will slow down. Why? Because instead of having, let's say 100 Starlink dishes in this area in our little node, let's call it, now we went to 1,000.
Right.
So of course, there's only so many ways you can split the pie, where people get it equally. Something like that. Piece, pie, something. What else do we have here? Don't forget, guys, put a Q before any of your questions. But we're going to read them all anyway.
Phil's Camping and Touring. I used to be able to stream live on Starlink. I cannot do that anymore.
Phil, you can't stream live using Starlink. Do you have another service provider? Do you have something else? Like we have DSL, we have Starlink. We also have our phone, which is AT&T, which might not happen after tomorrow. We'll see. But the thing is if you have others, there is a service that I'm working on right now, and I will tell you guys about it the beginning
soon.
of April. Okay? That will fix that problem, and you will not have a problem streaming anymore. Anyways, stay tuned for that. Let's see. Kamikaze Eyes says ISPs
laundering that
text. Absolutely, they're just, it's horrible.
Ian says, question: how do you go to Mars and communicate without putting Starlink on UFO? I live on Cape Cod.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling we're going to see Starlink on the moon, doing communications through space. I think it's going to happen. I have a feeling they're going to have like stations like wrapped around. As it is right now, they need to get timing down. People don't understand this, but if you don't have timing when you're on the moon, you don't know the relay time going back. And if you don't have communication that is actually good communication, it's very hard to keep time with things. Let's just say it gets really deep, but there's a lot of reasons why I say that. But I think we're going to see communications with Starlink on the moon. I definitely do.
Can we get a button
with a look at the moon?
Yeah, like what's his name from Star Trek? Beam me up, Scott.
Oh yeah, just yeah. Why not?
Scott from South Carolina. Question: I powered down my Starlink. Now I cannot get my mesh router to reconnect. Any ideas?
Okay, so once you power it down, chances are. Depends on how you power it down. Sometimes it will restart itself factory. Go into the unit itself and see if everything is the way it used to be, because sometimes it resets. If it reset, put it back to the way it was before. Sometimes people use the Starlink router in bypass mode, and then if it reboots a couple of times, then it resets, and now it's not in bypass, and then you're getting double NAT stuff and all kinds. It gets pretty deep, but do that first. Just go and log in, make sure everything the way it was before. If it is, chances are it's your third-party router that's kind of went south. Then I would look that way and not Starlink side.
Nilsson, I received the email to sign up and get into the waiting list.
Smart.
LOL before the service starts.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, you're on the waiting list. That's fine. But like I said, even though you're on the waiting list, you should be able to get best effort and still remain on that waiting list and not lose your space. So look into that.
Jim, question. I do wonder, as I remember you said that
if you
stored your RV service, I am going to experience issues reconnecting if I don't use it for a long time.
All right, so Jim, people were having problems with storing their service and shutting it down for a long period of time, months on end. And then when they turned it back on, it wouldn't connect anymore. It basically bricked itself. And the reason being, what according to Starlink is let's say the firmware is now so far outdated that they can't bring that firmware up to current, and now it's basically bricked and they have to send you a new one. So what I recommended people do was set your system up on a timer and allow it to turn on for, let's say, 4 hours at a time, even when you're away from, like, let's say your cabin where you use it. Let it turn itself on for 4 hours and then shut it back off, like once a week. That's more than enough. And it will know immediately when it turns on, it's going to reacquire, and then it's going to start downloading because that's what it knows to do. And then after 4 hours, you're going to power it down, and that's it. So that's what my recommendation is, so you don't end up bricking your system. Does that happen all the time? No, but there has been some instances of people bricking it because of that. What else we have here?
Cantamix, thank you very, very much for the answer. I love your videos.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
So much. Thanks for watching. Yeah, and that's from the Philippines.
Yeah.
That's cool. Very cool.
Phil's camping, daytime and residential in Australia, 130 to 200 download, 7 to 20 upload, mostly 10, which is not fast enough on stream. Love on YouTube anymore.
So I don't know what you're streaming, but I mean, if you could stream at 10 or even 7 meg is more than enough to stream for upspeed. Downspeed is not a problem at all. I think what you're having a problem with is those small, spotty outages that satellite service provides. Because remember, you have satellites that are whipping around at 17,000 miles per hour, right? And when one's overhead and you're using that, it's going by pretty quick. And then it has to hand the baton off to the next guy that's coming by at 17,000 miles per hour. And sometimes that handoff is slower than other times. So you get these little blips, and that sometimes will hurt your connection. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going to be working on a product that I'm going to tell you about next month that will hopefully solve that. What else? Let's see. Are you familiar with what is this? Kylex Institute. They're having an unlimited internet on T-Mobile
I've never
network.
heard of that.
I never heard of it.
Calyx?
Kylex Institute.
Paolo?
No. Paolo. Send more information on that. DM me. Go to jcristina.com/contact. Send me a message. I'd love to hear about that. That's interesting. Unlimited internet through T-Mobile. Huh.
Clinton says, I'd rather get attacked by a coyote than a crack addict. I'm sorry. What did I miss?
Yeah. See, that's my kind of guy. Just like random.
I don't
know. See, here at this house, we actually do have coyotes.
Yes, tigers and lions and bears. Oh my.
And in the morning, when the wind is blowing from the east, you can hear the lions being fed, and the roar is so guttural, it travels about 3-4 miles. You can actually hear them be fed. So yeah, we have coyotes.
It can actually scare you when you're getting in the car. Like some of us
So I
have
don't
to
know.
before the sun comes up.
Yeah, I would take my chances with a crackhead. I don't know. These things are scary. Let's see. Easy TV says nobody has the patience to do what you do. Yeah, it's a lot. It does take a lot of patience. That is for sure. But you know what? I mean, for doing like what we do, so I would be doing everything I'm doing here now anyways for myself. And then what I've done is, since the channel is all about photo, video, and tech, I've used it now as a means to also convey the stuff that I've learned to teach you guys. So you don't have to spend all the damn time that I have learning all this crap, because
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
And it is time consuming.
It is time consuming. And it's a daily thing.
Yeah, you can't really just, not stay on top of it, because information comes out so fast now, things are changing continuously.
It's kind of like being a trader, right? Like if you're out of the market for a week, when you get back in, you're like, oh my God, I don't know, where did I leave off, or what is things doing? You lose it, So anyways, but yeah, I hope you guys appreciate it. I'm like I said, I do it for you guys, but I'm going to be doing it for myself anyways, but hopefully taking you on this journey will help you guys too, with this. Let's see. Thanks for the system. Tips. Long-term goal is a hobby farm, right? Farm on a remote island in Vancouver, in British Columbia, in Canada. That'd be awesome. Well, I tell you what. You want one of those kits? Go get it. It's 50% off right now. Gooseworks, 50% off for Starlink stuff. That's really cool in Canada. I plan on doing a video. Thanks. All right, excellent. Do those videos. Send me a link. Love to see them. Last name, Trump on Rooster. No, his name isn't Trump, but it's Donald. But he does have a yellow comb over.
Our son named him.
Yeah, our son named him. Let's see. Washington State. Nice, Timothy.
Ooh, 50-foot tower because of
holy crap.
Wife refused to cut any of the trees.
Yeah, so when your wife doesn't allow you to cut trees and you need a 50-foot tower, and then what you can do
is... She's trying to reach out and touch someone.
Yeah, and then when that tower gets hit by lightning, then they'll be reaching out and touching someone too.
Yeah, that could happen too.
That's a massive tower. But
hey, listen, if it's working though.
I mean, I tell you, we have a tree that's local, that's like really close to where the dish is, and when
that someone put there.
Yeah, probably.
When someone else told them not to.
Didn't realize it was going to turn from a tree to
from a bush
big ass
to
tree.
a gigantor tree.
Right. So, but had to trim it back some because the dish went from due north to now east northeast. It's a big difference. That's pointing over the ocean. So, yeah, cutting the tree back was it. If not, I would have to do the same thing and put it on a tall pole. So, don't want to do that. 50-foot pole. That would be bad. That would be bad. Let's see. Timothy said I paid more for Viasat than I do for my Starlink. Absolutely. Normally we only get 700 gigabytes, and that's with me, my wife, and 3 kids. Anyways, watching some TV and streaming. Yes. So 700 gigabytes. That's great. I mean, if you're on Viasat or if you're on HughesNet or this other, geocentric type of service, I mean, you couldn't do it. I mean, you're spending a lot of money. The data caps are there. The price is crazy. The latency is horrible. Instead of getting, let's say, 30 or 40 milliseconds latency, you're up to like 100 plus, 120 milliseconds. God, I don't even know. These companies will be going out of business. Remember that. They will. Let's see. Where is this? Easy TV. Arnie says, oh, that's over to him.
Mm-hmm.
Chris says, if you dig deep enough into Starlink website, you can get an email and on an issue. Yes, very important response. So I did a video. If you are looking for that email address directly to Starlink for complaints, I did do a video and I found that email address and I put it in the video and I put it in the description and I put it in the pinned comment. Remind me, Fab. I'll put it into this description too. I'll put that email address. So if anyone needs to get a hold of Starlink and they can't, use this email address and watch that video. I'll show you exactly how to do it. Do it right. Let's see. Avoid anything with the ham. Yes. Submit a detailed description and issues, but only received the phone contact the first week and it disappeared. Wow, I'm surprised you got a phone contact. I've heard people actually getting calls from Starlink.
Yeah, but then
they
disappeared.
Yeah, and they disappeared. I've only heard. I've never seen it, but I've heard people actually getting calls. Perhaps Elon has built an intelligent Autobot that can actually respond to questions. Yeah, maybe they'll do like a Chat GPT Starlink style, and it just answers all of your questions. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see, what else we have here? Izaro says, I still don't understand why Starlink Roam can't be switched to residential. I had it for a year. I tried it and don't. Okay. Yeah. So they did. Okay. Why they did this, I would have to say it's just because of money. I don't know. But yes, if you have residential and you switch it to roaming, you can't go back to residential. Okay. I don't know why. And if you have roaming, you can't go to residential. You have to buy residential. I think it's something like residential and business service are in one geographic location within 3 feet. And once you move it, all of a sudden it becomes into best effort, goes into RV. Now they call it roam. RV is actually gone. They no longer call the service RV. It's just called roam, period. You have roam, which is continental roam, like US roam, UK roam, whatever. And then that's like $150. Then you have global roam, and that's $200. And that means that you can actually take your dish, throw it into your luggage, go to Israel,
right,
set up your system there on the roof, and now you have internet, full speed.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. It's $200 a month for that, and you can bring it anywhere on the planet and use it, pretty much.
Dennis, using RV roam service in Middle Tennessee, service fee hasn't increased. In fact, SL issued a 1-month credit in February due to a problem shipping my Ethernet adapter, and the credit was repeated in March. That's amazing.
That is nice. I tell you one thing. If you complain, Starlink does fork over. They're not like a lot of these companies that are super cheap where they're like, yeah, whatever, screw you. They'll give you free month. They'll give you, whatever the thing is. I've seen people get extra routers. They got 2 routers. I've seen people get extra mounts, extra cables. I've seen those dongles, people getting 2 dongles because 1 dongle got lost and then finally it showed up. They ended up with 2. There's a lot of that. So they're pretty nice when it comes to that.
Fran, I live on a large ranch. What's the best way to push 5G further? Wireless Want to communicate with my animal cameras. Love your channel. Thanks, Fran.
So Fran, what you want to do is like what we do. If you're talking about I'm thinking 5 gigahertz, what you're saying, or 2.4 gigahertz wireless is what I'm thinking. What you're saying, you want to have an AP or an access point inside the house, and then you want to have one on the exterior part of the building. That's what we have. And then the location where you want that to go to, you want to put another access point there. And now you have those 2 access points. It builds into a mesh network. And now it's just like you have communication, just like if you were at any of those locations. So right now I'm getting service, AT&T service to this building 100 feet away through 2 APs, through access points, external, outdoor access points. I did a whole video on that. Matter of fact, in this video description, if you scroll down in the description, you'll see the products that I use, and you'll see like a TP-Link, like outdoor or something like that. Those are the ones that I use, and they just work, and they're cheap. Go check those out.
Okay. Ian, could they put on new STA dish talk to 2 stats at once?
Let's see. New sat dish talk to 2 sats at once. What do you mean by that? I'm not sure. Ian, repeat that question. Just ask it one more time. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking there. Let me see. Clinton, thank you so much for the donation. That's very nice of you. Really appreciate
your videos and knowledge. Here's an extra 20 gigabytes of data once CAPS kicks in.
Thank you so much for the 20 gigabytes. Yeah, so supposedly it's if you guys don't know, it's supposed to be, I think, 25 cents per gigabyte once you hit your 1 terabyte. Something like that is what they're coming up with. But that's all. We don't know. They state this, and it's like, who knows what they're going to do. There might not be a data cap at all, and I'm hopeful that there isn't. Once again, thank you so much, Clinton. Really do.
Peter, I love that you're doing this for us. Thank you. If you have a question, just put a Q in the start of your question.
Yes, put that Q down there.
Timothy, where does your tea fascination come from, and recommendations for someone that likes Earl Grey? That's like right up your alley.
Yeah, so do I have any of my teas here? No,
I don't think so.
Anyway, so I created the Dark Moon tea brand after infusing tea for like years because I like tea.
Yeah. And you had gone off coffee.
Yeah, so I stopped drinking coffee about 5 years ago. And I went solely tea. Yeah. And so what I started doing is I was only drinking like green teas and all organic, non-radiated, I mean, you don't even know all the process that goes into some of these teas that you're drinking, right? Anyways.
But you created them with a purpose, not just...
Right. So when I created the teas, each tea that I made was, and that's what the whole idea, it's a tea with a purpose, a tea with what I want out of it, let's say. So I have like morning teas. I have teas for nighttime. It's like a sleepy time tea that I've created. That's Dreamscape is what it's called. I have teas that are really good for, like I have one called Fireside that has that smokiness of the lapsang in there. So I love the tea, number one. I had originally got away from coffee because I was drinking like a pot or more, 2 pots a day. I was starting to get gout like a damn old man. So I ended up going with...
Some people overdo things.
OCD. So I started infusing teas, but more medicinally, basically. And it really helped. It was like night and day. I ended up losing weight. I just felt better. And like I said, everything was organic. And then finally, after I started making these different teas, I'm like, well, there was people always asking me, like, what are you drinking? I tell them what I'm drinking. So then I just made the tea brand and I started selling them. And then people loved them and I just keep on selling them. Yeah. And that's it. And a lot of times people will order my teas and then they won't get it for like 2 weeks. And they're like, hey, I ordered it 2 weeks ago, whatever. And then I have to tell them, if I cannot get one of the ingredients that go into the tea and it's not 100% organic, non-radiated, blah, 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 and on and on and on, right. I will not buy it. I will not put it in the tea because these are blends. They're all tea blends.
And they're freshly batched. made. They're not just made and sitting there. So, you know.
Exactly. So that's kind of how that all came to pass.
Which is good. It's like a boutique tea. You're getting something quality, freshly, you know, mixed for you, not just sitting on a shelf somewhere with intention.
With intention.
Exactly.
Right. So each one.
So it's not only going to taste good, but it's going to help you, you know.
Right. And I have one of them it's called Stormy Weather. And, you know, obviously you can't say anything that has to do with medical advice or whatnot, but I got a lot of DMs in during the V where people were buying that tea. Now, Stormy Weather is specifically for if you get sick, right? So all of the ingredients in there are antioxidants. A lot of them are for getting congestion out, getting crap out. It's like there's literally a bunch of ingredients in there. And a lot of people said that it helped them during that time to get over that period when they were congested with all of that. And it's like, well, like, you know, I never say anything like this. Once again, we're just on a live, but a lot of people used it for that and it worked out great for them. So they were buying it over and over and over. So like I said, they're for a reason, each one of them.
What would you recommend for someone that loves Earl Grey? So
for Earl Grey, I would say Misty Morning, combination with Focus. Those are the two that I blend together because they have the bergamot in them. It has the zing of peppermint in there too. There's a lot of great notes in there. It's not just like one thing. Earl Grey is great because you got the dark tea plus the bergamot in there that really tastes really nice. But then it's infused with other. Bergamot. Yeah, I love it too.
Earl Grey.
But then I also have like orange peel in there that kind of offsets the bergamot with that fruit. And anyway, so there's a lot that goes into it, but that's kind of the skinny. I just went into a long damn tea competition.
Well, I mean, what was your fascination? That's where it comes from.
That's it. All right, there you go. There's
it takes time to make good things. If you don't put time and effort, it might not be so good, you know? Question here. Wait, I got lost. Ian, put light.
Not straight.
No, we did that.
Straight Talk has home internet use of Verizon and get 100 down, at least $45, no cap.
Right.
That's really great. Straight Talk. I think Straight Talk uses. Did they use Verizon? Maybe. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, you can definitely do that. I don't know when they say that there's no cap, no data cap, no this, whatever. A lot of times what it is, you know, they won't cap you, but they will speed cap you. They won't data cap you. It's all semantics, right? They'll say, oh yeah, so you can keep on eating as much as you want. But instead of eating full slices of pizza, right? You can only get one piece of cheese at a time, right? Or a quarter of a piece of pepperoni instead of the whole slice. And that's what they do. So instead of data capping you, they are speed capping you. So test it first before, you know, I would definitely test it. See if that's actually the case. Peter says, if you have a question, thank you so much, Peter. Do appreciate that.
Ian, put lighting rod on tower and ground it. Put dish lower.
You need a lightning rod for sure. Get a nice 12, 15 foot copper rod. Pound that into the ground and ground that thing. That's definitely a smart thing to do if you're going to have a big, tower basically at the house. What else?
AW, how do you question? I'm in rural Colorado. If few Starlinkers are around me, would my download and upload be stronger, or is it based on sat movement? Thank you both. You're the best.
Okay, so AW, it really has to do with congestion. So the more people around you, the slower speeds you're going to get. That being said, if you're in an area that has very few birds flying overhead, right? Very few satellites, I call birds. If you have very few, then you're going to get a lot of outages or downtime. That doesn't mean you're going to get slower speeds. So if you're going to experience slower speeds, the chances are it has to do with congestion. You just simply have too many people in your node or in your area. Let's see.
Okay. Cantamix, is it okay to make the residential Starlink a business by spotting it into every phone or put access point?
Sure. Absolutely. They don't care what you do with it. You can do whatever you want with it. They don't say one way or another. You're going to get the same amount of data no matter how much you push it. Now, I've heard of people taking Starlink and literally hooking up like 4 or 5 RVs.
That's wild.
Is that nice? I mean, I don't know. You know, you're kind of stealing, but they are doing it, and you know, it kind of is what it is. You know, and that's where the data cap comes in. When you get the people that are using so much data because they are giving their service to 6 other RVs and everyone else, and everyone is just slamming it, you know, those are the people that, you know, they're going to want to cap. So, you know, but can you do it? Absolutely. There's no reason not to.
Getting
no
back
reason you can't.
to tea, Arnie wants to know, what is the best teapot and tea strainer for the Dark Moon teas?
So you know, for the most part, as far as teapot, it really doesn't. I like pour over. So there are these little all natural bags that you can get on Amazon, and they're not dyed, they're not bleached, and you can put your tea inside of them, and then you tie the top of them, and you stick it into your cup and pour water over it and let it sit. That works perfect. If you have a pour over type of like a Chemex, you can do something like that also. But the thing is a lot of these teas, and you look on the back of them, they'll tell you, and I'll tell you how long to steep them, let's say, for, infuse them for. And a lot of them will be like 3 to 5 minutes, 7 minutes, but a lot of it also has to do with taste. How much do you want? How much strength do you want? So the more you want to extract out of it, the longer you're going to let it sit. So for the most part, the little tea bags, they work out great.
What about teapot? Other than the Chemex? I mean, you use a gooseneck.
Yeah, just a regular teapot. I mean, we just need.
Steel.
Yeah, you want
glass.
Yeah, and you want water that is just before boiling. It's like you don't want it like boiling. You want it just to like boil and then let it sit for like 30 seconds and then pour it. But sometimes you hurt, you know, the fine, especially when you're dealing with like a green tea, stuff that's like really, you know, sensitive. You don't want to just, you know, scold it. It's just not necessary. Sometimes even coffees don't taste good when you just burn them, you know. You put, you know, that hot water when it's so hot on there, you know, a little bit. But you want to let it sit in there. So you need some type of bag or other infuser. Now, I also have one that is made out of metal. And it goes stainless steel, right? And it goes inside the cup, and then you put the tea in there, and then you pour over it, and then the water fills up to it, and it's got the tiny, tiny, tiny holes in it. But the only thing is you do get some of the sediment that comes through. If you want a perfectly clean tea, that's not going to work for you. Then you're going to want a bag. But if you don't mind a little bit of that sediment that's coming out of that all natural tea, then that works too. So those are the two that I kind of recommend.
Okay.
Colorado rule. Let's see. Before that,
we're down here.
Are we down here?
Chris, so glad you're promoting 100% organic. Thank you both.
You got it, Chris.
Ian, allow the resident and Pro Dish to communicate with both at a SATs same time and Sky to pass without dropping from one to the other.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's going to be, Ian, I don't know if that's going to be something that will be able to be done. Now, I have seen companies, and I've consulted with some people that are actually they're putting up 5, 6, 10, 15 Starlinks, then bringing all those feeds into a very expensive load balancing router, and then taking that data off and being able to use that. But the thing is you're still only getting so much, right? There's only so much bandwidth that you're getting, even though you are bonding it all together, which you can do. And that's exactly what is currently going on if you go on a cruise ship. We were just on a cruise ship not too long ago, and, you know, I'm a dork. So I was, you know, on the top.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
You admitted that? That's great.
Yeah. So, you know, like I'm like the nerd, right? So I'm like on the top of the ship looking for the Starlink dish because I know there's got to be one there, right?
Not that we're on this really amazing cruise. He's got to look for the Starlink dishes because he knows they're there. I'm trying to enjoy my cocktail in the sun, but he is hunting for Starlink.
And I found them, guys. I found them. So they had like, I want to say like 8. I think it was like 8, 6 or 8,
Yeah.
all in a row at the top of the ship, all flat, pointing up. And they were all the large ones. They're like 21 inch by 22 inch or something. And that's how they get their signal. So each one is going to get that, let's say 300 meg down and 30 meg up. And they have 6 of them. So you multiply that all together. That's what they have available for the entire ship. What was it? How many people? Was it 7,000, 6,000?
Oh my God, that was a lot.
It was
That was a lot.
okay, for thousands of people,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the ships are they're using it now, all right, and people are loving it.
Jim wants to know, how about someone who may be considering giving up coffee? What tea would you recommend?
Yeah, so if you're giving up coffee and you need that like just real, a strong kick, I
Focus.
mean, yeah, I like Focus is the one that I've really put together for that. You get the maximum amount of caffeine, you get a little bit of a zing behind it, and if you steep it for a good solid, let's say 7 minutes, it will be almost as dark as coffee. I mean, it's pretty dark and it gets pretty strong. I would say it's probably about maybe 15 milligrams less than a cup of coffee, or maybe even once you steep it down, maybe equal to a cup of coffee. So take a look at that. Focus works out really, really good.
Cantamix, thank you, ma'am and sir. You're so very welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith, Starlink, right now watching you 33 down, 6 up, hour and a half west of Fort Worth, Texas. We were just in Texas.
Yeah, we just
got
there.
back yesterday.
Yep, just flew out of, what was it, DFW.
Yep. Easy TV. We did a farm with Starlink with the Ethernet adapter connected point to point AP to bring a BAM into the network, replace 2 Viasat systems.
Perfect. Yeah, so there you go. Easy TV, they replaced their Viasat garbage with Starlink and 2 APs, 2 access points, and now they have a barn connected. So that's exactly the setup that I recommend on all of my mesh. If you guys haven't seen any of my mesh network videos, go check them out. Go to the channel and then look up the playlist that says Starlink. I think I have about 130 Starlink videos on there now. It's like a ton.
It's a library.
Yeah, it's like a library
Like,
of just a whole bunch
can
of
I
really...
say it? You're like old school Britannica.
Thank you. I'm like
great.
a damn pretend. Maybe that's it. Sure, write down.
You write it down. Another one. Oh, I like it. Flying Pretzel, best tea out there. Fireside is my favorite. We love it. Love to hear it.
Yes.
John Wolf, Straight Talk has no contact. I do what you say. Try it. Thank for the answer, y'all. Make a good together. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
John.
Thank you so much, John. Yeah, give it a shot with Straight Talk. Let us know. How that. I mean, no contract is good. Make sure that it does actually have it's unlimited, not data, but unlimited speed once you hit a specific amount. That's the key.
We are using Starlink right now.
We are using Starlink.
Phil just asked. Alan, I sent Starlink a message on the 17th regarding my Q app for my garage doors, which are only 2.4 gigahertz. They finally responded today. What they said was to do a factory reset and wait on the update.
Interesting.
Have you heard of this issue? Oh, by the way, I just canceled my Verizon hotspot after 14 months of Starlink.
Wow. Congratulations on that. That's good. That's really good. I mean, Verizon has a great home service. T-Mobile has a great home service if you can get 5G in your location, and a lot of rural people can't. So Starlink is the way to go for sure. But yeah, I've not heard this whole thing with this 2.4 gigahertz issue with the MyQD. I don't know. I've not heard of that. But please let me know, once you get a response back, Alan, because it's something to, that I would like to know. If someone else, asked me, I'd be able to answer that.
And Paolo, for a few days in February, I brought my Starlink RV with me down in Acapulco, Mexico, in a conference with a lot of people. At around 90 different devices connected, start to be unusable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you have one Starlink and you have 90 devices on it, I could imagine it would be unusable.
That's a lot.
Because remember, you have, probably what becomes unusable is the upspeed. Because even on 90 devices, when you have, let's say, 200 down or 100 down, I mean, that's a lot, of speed. But the upspeed of being 6 or 7 or even 10 megabits up, that's not enough for 90 devices, really. And I think that's where you end up with that congestion, where you're not going to be able to do that.
Robert, I've been using Starlink in rural southern New Mexico for approximately 1 year.
Wow. Okay. So that's in New Mexico for 1 year. Nice, Robert. That's good. What are your speeds in New Mexico? What are you getting? I'd love to know.
John, I live in Texas, Austin, going to NASCAR tomorrow. That's amazing.
That's fun.
Love some NASCAR.
Yeah. Well, we're gone. We're back in Florida now. Can't do it.
I know. Phil, we just were talking about that. That's interesting. My last few live feeds, I've had numerous watchers complain it was constantly breaking up and unmatchable.
And unwatchable probably is what he was saying. So chances are, like I said, it probably has to do with those little micro outs. Let me take a look here. Let me look at my statistics real quick.
He's going into the nerdery, y'all.
I'm going to go into the nerdery and see what mine is. But I think that the last time that I looked, I wasn't getting a lot of problems, let's say. The statistics look pretty good. Like here, this is outages, all right? Let me see. As long as our face isn't in there, can we cover our eyes or do something like this? No. Ah, shit. Let me see. Let me go in there. Will it work? There it is. Okay. You see that? So the last outage was at 6:44, and it was for 2 seconds. That's it. One outage. Now, if I change that that's 2-second outages, right? So if I go to 0.1 second outages, this is what I get. Let's let that get in there. There we go. So this now is under a second. You see that? This is 0. Oh, come on. Don't look at me. Hold on. Wait. Come on. Good. There it is. So that's it. Now you see how they're 1 second outage, 1 second, 1 second, 0.8 seconds, 1 second, 0.9, so on and so forth. So those little tiny micro outages, they can definitely cause, a stream to spool a little bit, just for a tiny, tiny second. But what I would recommend is go onto your app and go and take a look at what your outages look like. 2-second outages, I have one. That's not bad. And that's probably why right now during this, this live feed, we've been going for how long? Maybe like an hour and a half?
Oh my God, we've been going for 2 hours and 13 minutes. No one's counting.
Holy crap. That's a long time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm fine.
Give me
I am.
Later.
Look, I'm great.
Okay. All right. So anyways.
And it's Friday night.
All right. So anyways, yeah, that's probably the reason why you're probably getting longer outages. So take a look. Once again, you have that under a second, 2-second, and 5-second outages. If you have any in the 5-second area, that's a major, those are major outages, and that's going to really cause a streaming problem. But like I said, in April, I will probably have an answer for that for you. So stay tuned.
Milliboys 26. I am lagging while trying to play Call of Duty online while the wife watches TV. Anything I can do, or should I try and return the wife?
Kill the wife.
That could be negatory. Why would you say that?
Don't kill the wife. Don't kill the wife.
It might take you out.
What is it?
Look at you. You can't even remember the question. It says, lagging while trying to play Call of Duty online while the wife watches TV. Anything I can do other than kill the wife? Really?
Yeah, there's, honestly, yeah. You definitely don't want to kill that wife. But yeah, so it's one of those things that a lot of people end up having issues playing online first person shooters because they are so latency based. So that if you're sitting on fiber and you have like a latency of like 5 milliseconds, you are going to snipe someone. They're going to be shot. They will be dead before they even know it. Their screen won't even update, and you have already killed them. So what happens is people that use like Starlink or any other type of service that has a higher latency, 30 milliseconds, 40, 50, 60, some 100 milliseconds. Well, they're basically unplayable. You can play it, but you're going to get killed all the time. And you're not even going to realize that you're dead because someone with 5 milliseconds would have killed you and already left. So anyways, that's just
not fun.
It's not fun. And that's why, the majority of online shooters, if you're going to be competitive, you're going to be on fiber. You could do cable too, but bidirectional is the way you want to go.
What's our other son-in-law use
The one?
to play? Corey, what does he use?
He's got fiber. Yeah. So, and then Kevin, he has fiber too. Matter of fact, I took a snapshot when we were over there. Let me see if I can find this. This is the kind of stuff here. Yeah, here it is. So I did the Ookla speed test while I was there. Let me just make sure there's no network information. There is not. Okay, so check that out. You see that? Shit. Don't look at the camera so that it doesn't see. There it is. There it is. Look at that. 385 down and 352 up. There you go. I hate that. That is just awesome. Bidirectional, almost perfectly synchronized. That is what you want. So in that case, when you have a setup like that, 300 up, 400 down, bidirectional, you're going to end up most likely having extremely low pings, low latency, low milliseconds, and it's just the perfect setup to do any type of streaming, for doing first-person shooters or anything like that. Starlink supposedly one day will be like that, but that day will be when we see 20,000 satellites up there, where that handoff from satellite to satellite doesn't produce these little half a second, quarter second little dropouts as it's handing it off. So I hope some of that helps a little bit.
Ian, your video and audio looks very good. That's great.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That's
Alan,
good.
I am still on best effort. LOL. You can do a split. Didn't work.
Yeah. So, best effort, you're going to be on best effort until something is available. And then they'll take you off best effort. You won't even know that you're off. You're going to look into your app, and it's going to say residential and be like, holy crap. They won't even tell you. They'll just take you off.
John, question, how can I get better speed with a second router?
So unless your other connection is faster than your first connection, you're not going to get better speeds. When you have two connections, it's usually good for redundancy. So failover. When one goes down, the other one picks up. The only way you're going to get better speeds is if the second one is faster than the first one, and now you're using the second one instead of the first. So you're not going to really get better speeds. That being said, now, for me, there's something called bonded and bonded pair. Like here, we have AT&T, we have Uverse. Our Uverse is such trash that we need to have bonded pairs to actually get anything worth a crap. So they're actually increasing speed by bonding two slower connections together. There's not a lot of systems, not a lot of stuff that does that and does it well, does it properly. So if you just use like a third-party router that you get from Amazon, you're not going to be doing true bonding, technically. But there are ways to do it if you want to shell out the money and do it. But the best way to do it is to have two equal speed connections and then use them as redundancy. So if one goes down, the other one goes down. Like what we said, when you're watching TV and you don't even realize that we're off Starlink
Right.
and we're using AT&T because you're not spooling.
Right.
And that's because I have it set up that way. So if Starlink goes down because of rain or some kind of storm or whatever, we don't lose TV. TV just keeps on going because now it's on a landline.
It's a huge difference.
Huge. We don't notice.
Yeah.
There's never down anymore. Never. I don't. When, have you seen it spool? I don't even see it
No.
spool. Let's see. Robert. Let me see before that. Here. Mark says, and she's pretty too.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Mark.
She is. Thank you so much. Here's
Robert.
Robert. What does Robert say here?
I use the portability feature to operate a hot food trailer at New Mexico State University events like football games, but
Awesome.
I have heard that the portability feature is discontinued.
Well, so the problem with portability is discontinued, but if you have it, you're grandfathered into it. I did a video on that, and
We
I told
talked about this.
Yeah, we
like
talked about it in the
video
last one.
before last.
Yeah, and it was like 2 weeks ago. I talked about this. Basically, what that means is if you have portability right now, don't do anything to your system. Don't do anything to your setup. Don't do anything to anything. Don't touch anything. Don't add service. Don't delete service. Don't ask questions. Don't nothing. You're grandfathered in. You have portability. If you wanted portability today, they're going to say, sorry, you can't have it. It's not available. Now, it's a major problem for a lot of people because many people were using a residential and then they bought portability for an extra $25
Right.
and then they were able to take their dish on the road with them and go to, let's say, the log cabin somewhere, use it there. When they're there, they're under best effort, meaning it's going to be half the speed, but who really cares?
Right.
Then when you bring it back into your location, your home location, it goes back to full speed.
Right.
Sounds great. They got rid of it. It was too good. So, anyways, if you have portability,
Hold on to it.
don't touch anything.
Yeah.
Don't touch anything.
Mike. I
Mike.
had an outstanding response from Starlink support. My dish stopped working after a heavy snowstorm. The router stopped linking to the dish. Within 20 minutes of submitting a support ticket, they issued a new router and a 75-foot cable for free.
And the
That's
reason they did
amazing.
that, just so you know, is just most likely it's because of the problem that I brought to everyone's attention a while ago, that when the dish is in a heating mode, let's say, to melt the snow off it when it gets cold, it doesn't have a heater. People think that there's a heater inside the dish. There's no heater in the dish. What it does is it increases the amps, it increases the watts going to the unit, which heats up the internals and melts off the snow. The problem is
Messes up the cable.
the cable is too thin to handle the amp load and the watts. So the cables would melt.
The watts.
The watts. What watts? Those watts.
Yeah. Those.
So the damn watts gets the cable every time. They know it. So just like you said, is exactly what I've been DM'd so much. Just like what you said is exactly what everyone has told me. As soon as this happens, they immediately send out the new cable, the new equipment. That's it, done. Because they know it's a problem. And I told them, they don't listen. That's all you need to do is just increase the AWG, the thickness of the gauge of the damn cable, and that's it. Instead, they come up with all kinds of stupid crap, like, putting the thing into standby and, going to sleep. I don't want the damn internet asleep, okay? The other thing I said is they can cycle it, so they can turn the heater. It's not a heater. They can up the amps and then lower the amps again, like every 15 minutes, so that the wire doesn't melt. That was another thing they can do to help it. That was something I was thinking about. But the true way to actually do it right is to issue new cables to anyone that is, let's say, over a certain latitude that's going to get snow.
That's
That's
having
it.
a problem with the watts.
Exactly. I'm having a problem with the watts. So, like, I'm in Florida. I don't need a damn new cable because it's never going to turn on. The heater is never
We're
going to turn on.
always on heat.
We're on heat. Exactly. They need a cooler in there. And anyways, That's really good information to know. Thank you so much. I'm sure a lot of people love to hear that, because if this happens to you and it's cold out and all of a sudden your crap doesn't work, chances are you melted a cable. Tell Starlink, they're going to send you a new one immediately. Could these people, let me see, Ian says, could these people live stream have delay so that the people on other side won't become boggered? It's okay. So the delay doesn't, okay. So having a delay doesn't really help if you spool, if you lose connection. I was in a meeting today about this whole thing. I really can't get into it too much, but only to say this. When you live stream, it is session-based. It is not packet-based, right? Just think of it as a tunnel. When you make the connection, you're inside that tunnel. You can't get out of the tunnel, right? You're in that tunnel. And now the tunnel all of a sudden has a traffic jam. You can't jump out of the tunnel to go the other way, right? So you would have to start a new session. And when you start a new session, it takes time. That's what happens with a lot of times with these routers that have failover. You find out that you have 2 internet connections, but one dies, and then it takes 8 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I've tested countless routers. Go check. You'll see all of these videos. And it takes that time for it to pass the baton over and to come out of this, tunnel and go into the next tunnel. It's a new session, right? So to do it properly, there's another way to go, and I'm going to get into that next month. So next.
Easy TV, there were a bunch of glitches before. I thought you were having a seizure.
Was there glitches? I hate you, Starlink.
Robert, if you switch to our RV service, I lose guaranteed speeds throughout, correct?
What is that? If you switch to RV service, I lose guaranteed. Yes. If you switch to RV, it's not called RV anymore. It's called Roam. So if you switch to Roam, you cannot go back to residential. That means you will not have full speed ever again. Don't do it, period. Mm-hmm. Unless you absolutely have to do it. And at that point, it is what it is. You're going to get half speed during anytime there's congestion, you're going to end up with half speed. That's basically it. There was a bunch of glitches. Yeah, that was easy. That was just me. I glitch a lot anyways. It's that ADD. Let's see. Robert says I switched. Okay, let me see. Phil says.
I just want you to know really quick that your son-in-law is over here in the chat. I didn't even realize it was him. Mr. I'm going to talk about playing Call of Duty and returning.
I know. That's why I said don't kill this one.
I didn't know that was him.
You didn't hear me?
No, I didn't know that was him.
I didn't either.
Corey, I'm going to get you.
But see, that's...
You're special. You're both special. You wait.
Special K. Let me see. What else we have here? We're going to have to close this down. This is we've been going on for a long time. Let me see.
I know, it's Friday night. How long has it been? In 2.5 hours.
Holy hell.
You talk for a long time.
Jesus.
But you have a lot to say, and people need to know. It's all good.
I'm sorry if I just talked too long. Well, we still have a bunch of people on here. They haven't just snoozed off. So let's keep on answering a few more questions, and then we'll call it. Let's say any questions that you have, let's call it the next 5 minutes. All right? Any questions? Put a Q before the question. Stick it in there, and we're just going to kind of bang through these really quick. So let's go over to here, and then we'll come back. I got right now 4 milliseconds. Peter?
Peter, I got right now 4. Oh, wow.
I don't want to hear it with your 4 milliseconds. That's
Flying
awesome.
Pretzel, how did you get your Starlink to hold up during hurricanes?
That's a good question. It actually held up with the last hurricane. I thought that, I didn't think it was going to, but the connection actually was really strong. We actually had Starlink before we had DirecTV or Dish Network at the time. It was there. So, and that was before we ended up getting rid of it completely, the Dish. But yeah, it actually did really well. I mean, it's solid. I didn't know if I should take it down or not take it down. I just left it up during the hurricane.
And hoped for the best.
Hope for the best. Let me see here.
If I can get 5G on my iPad inside, will I be able to get 5G home internet system?
Yes. Well, if you're talking about 5G, like not 5 gigahertz, like on Wi-Fi, but actual 5G, yeah, if you can get it on your iPad, you will be able to get 5G home for sure. You can go to T-Mobile 5G home, or you can do Verizon 5G home. They're both unlimited and they're both cheap as hell. They're like $45 or $50. If we can get it, I would get it. And I would tell AT&T, once again, I'll run their ass over, but I would tell AT&T to go take a long walk. But
Okay.
I would, yeah. So yeah, I would get it. If you can get it in your home, 5G, definitely get it. We can. Next one we have here.
Gooseworks, RC. Watts. It's the problem.
Watts. Still live. I'm back. William's back. Yeah.
We're still
almost
here.
Dead. We're almost here. But we're dead. We're done.
Peter said, yeah, almost.
2 hours, 30 minutes. Yeah.
William sure can get out of your car. Ha.
Where else
Peter, could be high latency causing my live streaming issues? I use what is this? ASUS mesh.
Yeah, ASUS
For some
mesh.
strange reason, it don't work if I set the Starlink router to bypass mode. I'm going higher latency via the mesh Wi-Fi around 70 to 200. It's lower on the Starlink router, but as I mentioned, bypass mode not working for me.
Yeah, I think you're having a latency problem. It could also be the mesh problem where you're like losing data. I have never used the ASUS mesh, so I really don't know, how that works. But some of the mesh systems it infuses it with additional latency because of the processors that are in these APs and these access points just suck. They're really slow and they add latency. So it could be the problem. That's possible. You might want to try alleviate, like eliminate one of them, let's say, or just use the Starlink by itself and then just use one AP and just try it that way. Maybe you have one bad one too. And if you have a bad AP in a mesh network, it round robins and it constantly tries finding the best way to go in the mesh. And if one is bad, it keeps on going to the one that's bad and saying, hey, you okay? And it doesn't answer. It says, hey, you okay? It doesn't answer. One last time, hey, you okay? No. Then it bounces to the next one. So you're getting that extra latency because you have one bad one. That happens sometimes too. Technical support.
Sure.
Yes, good. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see.
Peter,
latency. Yes, Phil.
Eddie.
All right.
Eddie, if I get only one Amada EAP outdoor antenna, can I just connect it to my Archer AX 11,000 to get the signal further out to my shed?
Yes, but at the shed you need another EAP. You need another AP on the outside, so it makes the connection, and then on the inside of the building you need some way to receive the connection. Okay, you got that? You need AP on the outside, send it out to the barn, let's say, or whatever. The AP on the outside, and then on the inside you need the receiver, right? And I would put it on the back side of that wall. So you have a wall, let's say it's 3 feet or 3 inches thick, whatever. Put the other one, the receiver, on that back side. You'll get a strong connection.
Yes, William, totally missed you. I'm so glad you're back. Chris, do you ever recommend hardwire versus Wi-Fi for sensitive people?
Absolutely. Don't use Wi-Fi unless you need it. Absolutely. No Wi-Fi.
Ian,
no Wi-Fi.
Ian, I hope I didn't damage you in the last hurricane.
Exactly.
William, 8 GB almost done uploaded on Starlink. So painful with that 10 megabyte up.
It is. It is. Trust me. I feel your pain.
Arnie, we are surrounded by tornado watches and warnings. Looks like getting closer. Ooh,
oh, wow. Be careful.
Be careful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are
don't
no
watch
jokes.
us over here.
Yeah.
Stay alert. Stay with your locals there. Make sure that everything is good. Ubiquity has an amazing mesh. Yes, Ubiquity is good stuff. It's always been good stuff. But I've tried some of them, and some of them, so Ubiquity, they make great products, but they're not for the faint of heart. You need to really understand what you're doing with a lot of them. Can you get them to basically set up? Yes, but after that, I don't like the interface. That's my personal opinion. Some people actually love them. So,
okay.
what
Easy
stream
TV.
service are you using? We're streaming through YouTube right now. That John just asked. That's it. We're going through OBS straight to YouTube. That's the stream.
This live chat is one of the longest. A lot of latency. Yes. Phil's camping. Thanks for your tips. I will try. Eric, thanks for all the great info. You're the best. Thanks for watching and hanging out with us for so long. William, hardwire always.
Absolutely.
Eddie, follow up. I think I get it. But if the devices are only using Wi-Fi, do I still need that device on the inside? Thank you.
Yeah, because chances are the AP won't go through your barn wall. It might, but you'll have a low speed connection. You just try it. If you go and look on your device and you see that your bars are really low, you're going to get slow speeds. You're going to get dropouts. You're just going to get a crap service, right? Put another one on the other side.
Okay. William, expensive LOL and advanced. Chris, did you know you cannot turn off the Starlink Wi-Fi?
Yep. So Starlink, when you go into standby, it's kind of off. It's not being used when you go to standby. But the problem with Starlink is their router is locked down. There's not too much you can do with it, right? So that's literally all that you can do with it is try to turn it off completely by going into standby and using a third party, or using it out of standby, so you're using it as well as a third party. You can do that, but you have to be careful with double NAT and other issues, so I'm not going to get into all that.
That's it, babe. We've hit the end of the internet.
Well, guys, Friday night, it's been awesome.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us again.
Thank you.
We stayed on a little longer to make up for last Friday since we weren't here.
Yeah, last Friday we did not show up.
Yeah.
We weren't here.
Sorry.
You want us to come back? Maybe next Friday? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know.
We'll get her back? Maybe?
I don't know.
Thank you so much, people. We really do appreciate it. It's awesome. So glad that you're here.
And keep the questions coming.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't get to everything tonight or something pops up, just put in the comment section and we will most certainly review everything and try to get back.
Yeah, the comments is a great place to be. Also, if you want to put any of those questions that you have, and if I don't get to them, a lot of the folks in here, they know a lot, all right? There's a lot of smart folks in here. Also, if you want to go and check something out, go to community.JCristina.com. That is a community of like-minded people. We have hundreds and hundreds of people over there. It's our Discord server. It's a creative Discord server. So there's information on all the tech stuff and photo and video and everything else. So once again, community.jcristina.com. So go check that out.
And I just, someone said they just joined, but they were never notified. So just double check your subscription, your little icons and whatnot, because for whatever reason, people just don't get notified, and we also
see this
try.
Button right here? You see this button? No. So that button over there, that little bell thing or whatever, when you click it, make sure you click all, right? Yeah. So you get all notifications. That's number one. I talked to the YouTube rep like a month ago, and they said the other thing that you can do is have your subscribers not unsubscribe, but take off notifications, turn notifications off, and then turn notifications on again, and then click all. Yeah. And then it like refreshes it. It's a YouTube thing. I don't know. I get so many people that say that they don't know that we're live. They didn't get the notification, even though, we put it out there. I put it up like hour or 2 hours before, so that it's definitely out so everyone knows about it. But there's like 61,000 of us now.
We're going to try to get better too about planning out what time we're going to do them. It's just hard with our schedule, so that we can put it out there like maybe a day or two before we actually do it. But we're going to try to keep it on Friday nights.
Yeah, I think Fridays works good.
Between 8 and 9 we'll start usually, so we're going to try and keep it at that. Also, some people are trying to go to the website to find your book, your ebook.
Oh.
So, and we're going to keep this copy of this live stream up, right?
Yeah.
For everybody to go back and take a
Yeah,
look
so
at.
if you look at the replay, you'll be able to go back to all of this stuff. It'll pop up. If you want to look at any of the books, the free books, you can go to jcristina.com/books. jcristina.com/books. They're all free. You can go and check those out. Once again, community.jcristina.com. If you want to take a look at any of the teas and all the rest of stuff, just jcristina.com. You can go take a look there. If you need any additional service, any kind of additional help, you can always send me DMs. You can go to jcristina.com/contact.
They can look up on all your videos that you have.
And then, of course,
it's a library.
Yeah, there's like I think it's over 130 videos now just on Starlink alone. I got like 900 plus altogether now on YouTube. Also, just for the few people that are left here, just so you know, we have been asked to go onto Rumble also. So, and they're being adamant about.
Yeah.
So that's good. I'm going to end
Exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. So we will be on Rumble probably soon also. I'm excited about that. I am. That'll be really cool.
You should be.
So anyways, yeah, they asked us to do that. So that's going to be something that I'm working on. That'll be cool. So there's just a lot going on. And don't forget, come April 1st, first week of April, something really cool is going to be happening with this whole networking stuff and working with multiple internet connections together properly. Watch for that. But there's a lot of cool stuff going to be happening in the next couple of
and again, don't forget, if you need anything as far as like your digital Fort Knox, the book,
the books
on the website,
and all that, it's on
or
the
any
website.
of that stuff that we talked about. And if you have any other questions, again, that we didn't get to, just put them, in the comment area, and we will follow up.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
we appreciate you guys hanging out with us this Friday night, which was super long, but super fun as always. And we'll see you next week.
That's it, guys. We're out. Take care. Many blessings to all of you. Have an awesome weekend.
Good night.
We'll see you in the next one. Good night.